ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, participators, congratulators, agitators, and naysayers. Welcome to another esteemed episode of the Throne Room. Today, in our Seat of the Esteemed, we have Grammy-nominated Best R&B Male, Billboard Top 100 chart member, Def Jam's own connoisseur of all things fly, rhythm, and blues.
I'm trying to tell you.
And the godfather of the smoothest dismissal that has ever been recorded on record, Mr. Orange June Jones.
What's up, baby? How you doing? Thank you so much, sister. Let me tell you, your check is in the mail. Thank you so much, sister. I appreciate that. Thank you. How you doing? What's up? But but before we get started, I'm sitting here with a bigger figure. You dig? Let me tell you that. I'm holding the tail, but let me tell you who's knocking his cow. Sean Bigga.
And I appreciate you so much, bro.
Brother, I appreciate being here. Thank you so much for having me, brother. This is God doing this thing.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
it's
it is.
always
Absolutely.
God. And
Always
this
God.
is going to be a great show, man. This is just an honor to me right now. So y'all see me cheesing the whole time, which I never do. This means everything to me right
brother.
now.
Thank you so much, brother.
This brother, I used to, as a little kid, run home and watch the video and try to do the moves inside. You know,
he let you know how old I am. That's what he doing.
No, not like that.
I'm
just much younger than what they think.
Okay.
This here is a legend. A legend. You hear me? A legend. So
I'm swinging his jungle right now.
Let's get
started. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Before we go into the evolution of the man known as Mr. Oran Edwards Jones,
oh, wow, okay.
I want to just share a story with you. We were at a business dinner for Christmas, a couple of weeks before Christmas, and we were with our Italian family. And at the end of the table, this brother is singing your song, The Rain, word for word. Now, me and his wife are at the other end of the table, completely engulfed in our own conversation. I don't know, something about the grown kids in the house. And I just hear very softly the lyrics.
Right.
This is 100% Italian, okay? Little older than the king and I. And my king was like, you singing The Rain? You know?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And we're just at the dinner table.
That's my man.
He's like, what did he say?
He said, that's my man. I said, how do you know where did you get that from? How did you know that? He looked at me and said, that's my man. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I knew it was God then because we was already in process of working, you know, to make this happen. And I'm like, God always speaks. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
God is.
How could that just happen? We at the dinner table with our partners, very, different type of people, and he just broke out and started singing. He just started singing. I knew then.
We wanted to, when we were putting the record together, the concept of infidelity. You know, I didn't want to, I made an effort. I could have just left the song, at the singing part of it, and had been the end of it. But I wanted to make sure to distinguish it from anything else to come after it. Because I think it's very important. It's not what you do, it's the way you do it. You know, and up until that point, infidelity being what it is, but the end result of it is always either violent or negative in some kind of way, And it doesn't have to be that way because how it begins is how it ends. We began in harmony. We can end in harmony. Because we don't do it together doesn't mean we have to, be combative, But I wanted to get the point because then you notice there's no cursing, there's no belittlement. There's no degrading. It's humorous, it's witty, it's clever, but it's to the point. And it's consistent. And it allows us to go our separate ways and maintain our dignity. Because it's funny, it's cool. And that was the effort because I didn't want people, especially our people, to always be associated with, she cheated on me and that's why I killed Diana. I don't want that, none of that, but that was the effort to try and take a bad situation and not make it a worse situation, but let it end as it should.
And that song resonated to, and that was proof at the table how many people and genres that song resonated
Right,
to.
right, exactly.
He completely blew us both away, that, and he just sang it so naturally. It wasn't playing overhead.
Right.
It just, the spirit moved him. And
That's
he
the
just
greatest
started
compliment
singing.
I could receive
Yeah.
ever, because that was the mission, for it to be acknowledged and hopefully appreciated, across the board.
Absolutely.
Because the subject matter exists across the board.
Absolutely. So tell us about the beginnings. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Houston. I was in my my mother was very young. She's 17 years old. She got pregnant, got married, because that was the way. At that time, you got my daughter, you get married. But my father, after I was 3 years old, he made it. They told me, and then after years later, I asked him, was it actually true? And he said, yeah, it was true. 'Cause we had that kind of relationship. He told her that she would make some man a good wife, but it wasn't him. And then my grandfather said, well, if that's the case, then we're going to put the distance between you, and we're going to take you from Houston to New York. You're going to move to New York and take these 2 children with you, me and my younger brother. And then we got to New York, and during that time in the 50s, it's very difficult for black people to have a. I mean, it was difficult to have a living. Sometimes, I mean, everybody was in Harlem, and it was exciting times, but people were hustling. And, my aunt, my mother's, my grandmother, my mother's mother, her sister had a rooming house, which is how a lot of black people made money during that time. And she had 7, apartment, 7 bedrooms, and she stayed in the master bedroom. She had 7 other bedrooms that she rented out. And the people during that time who could afford the rent were usually people had legitimate jobs, like maybe hard job or working in the gym, or people who were in the life and outside of traditional work. A lot of drug dealers, pimps, prostitutes, numbers guys, which was very big back in the numbers game. So and we were in the room also. So my mother would go to work, and we would be there, and I would be entertained by these various the cats that were there. So that was my introduction to what would later to becoming a man. That was it. That was my introduction to that. I listened to those cats, and I saw the world through their eyes. And I actually, it was quite an education, because I gained an insight that I might not have gained had I been in a more rigid type of environment. I learned a lot of lessons during that time. I actually learned lessons that I wasn't able to articulate at that time, but I was able. Like, for instance, I met Sly Stone a while back before he died. Right, and he and we talked a long time. And he told me something I never forgot. He told me, when you wind up making your mind up, at that point you find up instead of down. And then he said, because in this world you'll find that people remember the prayer, but they've forgotten how to pray. Because cuss words, I don't trust words, and they don't look like us words. They're just so easy to say. So, and I couldn't articulate that. I had learned that lesson earlier. I just couldn't articulate it. And at that point, I realized this is God coming full circle in this particular moment. And because I understood it, I started to look for it. So my perception is a bit different, I think. That's why Sean and I, the moment I met this cat, it was like it wasn't like I was meeting someone. It was like I was reconnecting with something I had lost. It's just, I don't know if that's if I'm doing that right. You meet people and we're just meeting, but I don't feel like I met you. I feel like I've lost you and I've refound you.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's
I tend to feel that because we're just on the timing thing. God has already did all of this already. So if he already did all this, me and you was already brothers and connected.
Yes.
And right now we're just meeting each other in the physical sense
Yes.
of aspect. And there's a lot of people like that because I knew who she was at 15 years old. Told her who she was as soon as we laid
At
eyes.
the door.
As soon as she opened up the door. I told him, I turned to my best friend and said, that's my wife.
that kind of clarity comes from God.
Yeah. And look what happened.
Yeah.
But I said that at 15 years old.
But you know what I find, brother? Your spirit has to be in tune to receive that, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
That's very important.
Yeah.
That's absolutely important. What was school like back then?
Actually, school for me was like I said, I got introduced early. Man, I started first. We was buying nickel bags of weed, breaking them down into joints, and some of the joints for $1 to try and double up, and then get an ounce in it. And then that turned into. When I got to high school, I was 18 years old, and I was supposed to. I was went to John F. Kennedy High School. They called me and they told my mother that he's not going to graduate because he's just missed too many days. He's going to be left over. And for me, that was inconceivable. I can't do it. But so the cat said there's a GED test being taken tomorrow. If you want to take it, you take it, and just, because you're not going to get out of here at the right time anyway. You're going to have to go another year. I said, okay, let me take the test. I took the test, and when the results came back, I think it was the next week or the week after I passed, they gave me my GED. I graduated. But they allowed me to march with my class.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which was cool.
That's awesome. That's
But
awesome.
I already got it. And then when I got that, my mother shit me. She said, the first thing you do, you're out. Next day, you're going back to Texas. Because New York was very dangerous at that time.
Yes.
It was, that was the mid-70s.
What street were you on? What street?
I was
did the
on
family
I
live
was on 140th Street in Amsterdam Avenue. Okay. And then we moved up to we moved from 116th Street in Lenox. Then we moved to 140th in Amsterdam. Then I moved up to Marble Hill in the Bronx.
Okay.
But from there, that's why I went to Kennedy High School. Mm-hmm. And from there, they shipped me out, which didn't last very long. But it was a good time. I got to Texas. I started studying biology. I was determined.
Did you go to college in Texas?
Yeah, TSU,
Where did you go?
Texas Southern University.
Okay.
Yeah, Texas Southern
Now,
University.
was that the first time you had been back in Texas?
No, I've been in
after
Texas. They sent me to Texas every summer. I never spent a summer in New York. Until I got a little older, but around 17, 18. I hit New York at 3. From 3 to 17, I went back to Texas every summer.
What was that like going back to Texas after being in New York for the fall, winter, and spring, but spending your summers in Texas? Was it a different flow?
It was crazy. My family in Texas impressed upon me the necessity. I mean, physically, they really impressed upon me that the reason you're here is because you have a lack of discipline, and we're gonna send you back better than you were when we got you. And that was the idea every time. And they took it in phases. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, became secondhand. That was natural. And then once I learned the mechanics of life, then I learned why. I learned what to do. Then I learned why you do it. And I was fortunate in that sense, because I actually had people who I understood then that it takes a village.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have the village.
You have to have the village.
Very necessary.
It's very necessary.
Because when I grew up in Delano Village,
Yes.
Delano,
I know Delano Village. Yes.
Born and raised there. So back then, when I was growing up in the '80s, it was all the older people watched out for us. We couldn't do anything. They'd grab you up, take you right to your parents.
Yes.
You know, it was that type of thing. So it wasn't just like my parents that I had to fear and look out for. I had to
Right.
fear out for, Mr. Roy and,
Exactly.
all the older people. They all had their eye on us. And
Yes.
you don't see that.
No.
more
And from that, because you had to look out for them, you developed that respect. You conduct yourself in a way
Yeah.
Absolutely.
that even if you couldn't see them, you realized they could see you, and you
Yes.
acted accordingly.
Yes.
And that was so necessary for us as a people. It was just, and we lost that. I don't think we lost it. But did we lose it, or did we give it away?
Yeah.
I don't think
Because it wasn't taken.
I don't think it was taken. I don't think we preserved it. I think so many of us fought to just get out.
You know what I think? When I think about it, because it happened to me and your generation.
Yes, it happened. Our generation.
When they came out and they said that they couldn't put their hands on the kids anymore, and the kids could call 911 and report their parents. Once once that really happened, that did affect the whole entire system.
Once it said
Because back then, the neighbor would grab you up and spank your butt, take you to your parents, and then you get another spanking from your parents, you know what I'm saying? And when that was just affected, it hurt the whole system of the village taking care, because you had kids threatening, their parents. They like, you put your hands on me, I'm calling those people on you.
Yeah, but I'm gonna ask you, culturally speaking, was that, because I don't recall us being that way. Because being introduced to that, us. I'm talking about us as black people. I don't think within our culture, within our reality, I never saw that until it was suggested. And but it wasn't suggested from us to us, or by us to us. It was suggested from somewhere, I think,
outside.
outside.
It was an outside
Influence.
It was the insinuation that this is what was happening. But the threat, there was still something called being embarrassed. If a bunch of cats was on the corner smoking a joint, maybe even a cigarette, and Miss Williams came walking down the street, everyone put it out.
Yes.
They scrambled to put it out.
Yes.
Here come Miss Williams. Miss Williams not they nana.
Right.
That's not they auntie directly.
Right.
But we don't want Miss Williams to
see us
in
this light.
state.
Right. Exactly.
Miss Williams, can I help you to the building? You all right?
Exactly.
Your language changed.
Everything, the way you held yourself,
The way you carry
you pulled your
yourself.
pants up.
Now, as soon as she got in the building,
You went back. You jumped
press
back.
the play button and
We
it go
play.
right back.
Maybe worse. Make up. Yeah.
Maybe even worse.
To catch up.
But it's now out of her sight.
Right,
It's not.
exactly.
It's now out of Mr. Johnson's sight. They don't see it.
Right.
And when they would speak to us, we would humble ourselves, even if we didn't want to hear it. We would still humble ourselves to receive the message.
Exactly.
Okay, you're right.
Yes,
I'm getting
yes,
in
ma'am.
trouble. You're right. Yes,
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
right. You're right. All right. You need anything? All right. And you press the play button.
Right.
The play button stays on
Yes.
now.
Yes.
There's no break. And I think when my king says, our generation was the last of that. We lost so many people, so many of our elders, so much of our great talents. We lost so many members of our village for, I would say, almost a 10-year period. Because of the influx of the crack, because of the war that was waged on that community, our communities. Those of us that could get out, got out as quick as they could, leaving many of us children, 12, 13, 14, 15, to now parent ourselves. We didn't have the elders there anymore. The elders began to become fearful of us because it was just too much. Like they didn't think they could speak to us. Fast forward this generation now. Grandma is 30.
Yes.
Right? She's wearing the same thing
As the mother.
the mother's wearing. She's listening to the same music.
As the mother.
We listen to our parents' music.
You said grandparents, so she's listening to the
Yes.
mother and the daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're going to the same venue.
Because that's 30, 33, 25,
Yes.
15,
Yes.
17, 16.
Yes. And there's a baby there now.
Ooh, wait a minute.
So the baby is like, you know,
Watch out now.
this is how you get a baby that is twerking the sexy red, right? Because grandma twerking
We need to
the
talk
sexy
about
red.
that, sister.
We gonna get
We
to
need
that.
to get to that.
Grandma's twerking the sexy red. Mommy's twerking the sexy red. Daddy got the blicky. He's outside, you know.
Yeah. He outside.
Where's the grandma? Where's the elder that's coming with the life lessons and the life experiences to say, give me that baby? Y'all acting a fool, because that's what they did. For
You talking
us.
about, you talking
You're
about,
acting
you
a
talking about the
fool.
state.
You're acting a fool. Grandma, grandpa, auntie, cousin, they taking that baby. Give me that baby, because you acting a fool.
Yeah.
Come
It
back
used to
when
be
you-
that way.
But now,
Now, no, they not
it's
trying.
not.
They not looking.
She-
They're not checking for it now.
she not picking up no
No,
baby, because
no.
she got to go out later.
Yeah. She going to the club. She going out.
We meeting at the club.
Yeah, we mean it right. Exactly. So
We all at the
You
club.
trying to find a babysitter?
Who watching? The baby watching itself. The
Baby
baby
watching
got a
itself.
tablet.
Netflix. BET, Hip Hop Atlanta.
Exactly.
Oh, they watching Hip Hop Atlanta.
Exactly. So when I hear that you had a village in Harlem of a wonderful spectrum of so many different characters, right?
Yes.
But then you go down to Texas. That's
That-
a whole nother village.
Oh, that was the Texas was the rope. Texas, yeah,
That's
they don't-
amazing.
Yeah, they didn't tolerate. The Texas was no tolerance. You know, because the danger was real. They were still getting lynched. You know, they was getting.
I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, when my mother at one point, she became. She wanted to go to nursing school.
Okay.
And so there was no one, and she that required her to study and just focus, and so she couldn't do it with us there because by this time I was going into junior high school, and my younger brother, he's 3 years younger than me, he was just tearing up stuff, you know. So she had to ship us out so she could focus for that year and a half, and which became 2 years actually. But so they shipped us to my family in Houston. But during that time, I forgot what the reason was. They said we're going to take him down to Louisiana.
Wow.
So I went to I stayed in Lake Charles, Louisiana, where we have my family originated from. The Houston, they came from Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, all, and they migrated to Houston, something Chicago, you know. But so I stayed in Lake Charles, Louisiana, during that year. Now that particular year was the year that Louisiana became integrated.
Wow.
Louisiana was segregated up until
So
that
it
point.
was still segregated.
When
at that time.
that year I started junior high school, that was the year they became integrated, and the white people were not happening. I literally walked in with the National Guard.
Wow,
with
what
the-
was
with the-
that
with-
like? Because you're coming from New York.
Yeah, I had never been called nigger before. I had never been called nigger. I had never seen anyone tarred and feathered. I had never seen anyone lynched. I had never been chased by a mob. I'd never seen anyone a mob going to people's house and drag them out. I saw all that.
You saw all of that.
Hey, I saw
in
all that. I bear witness to
Louisiana.
all that. I feel like I'm looking at you. I saw all that
In Louisiana.
in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Yes, Lake Charles, Catholic Parish, Lake Charles, Louisiana. Yes, I saw all that. The name of the high school is Pearl Watson. You know, it was all of that.
I can't let you skim over
Yeah.
that. Tell us about seeing that, even something like someone being dragged out of their home. How?
Yeah, the Klan.
So that was
Klan
we
was
know it
real,
was
Jack.
real,
No, Klan was real.
But we didn't get to experience that.
No, I saw the Klan. I saw the Klan literally come because where I lived on the railroad tracks divided us.
Okay.
I lived on this side of the track, and the white people was on that side of the track. There was a few whites with us, white people on our side, and that's where that's why I began to realize that racism is a luxury. You know, it's a luxury. It's racism, and it will always be in existence because at its core, the only difference when a person gets to the point, probably you know, ignorant, yes, but not even ignorant. Sometimes just desperate for to find themselves. They can't find themselves, so they have to separate from what's around them. There has to be something that makes them unique and distinct within themselves, and that when everything else is exhausted, this is what remains. So there were white people that were there, and they were racist, and they had nothing. They had black people that had more than them. But they were racist, and they were steadfast in that racism. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. But when you have nothing, then you'll hold on to anything. You know, and that was the case with them. But with the Klan, that was, yeah, we saw a cat. They actually jumped out the truck. It was in late evening, mid-evening, at about 7, 8 o'clock at night. We were on the porch, and you see the guy running.
A brother?
Yeah, black dude. Yeah, brother, young cat, and he. I came to find out later that the reason why it all happened at all was because he had an attraction to white women, and they didn't. No, that's not. But they ran. He was running. They in the truck. They jumped out the truck. They would hit him. They would pour tar on, not over his whole body, just have tar and just splash it on him. And where it hits, that's where it sticks. You know, it doesn't. It's not like pouring it all over. It doesn't kill you, but it just tosses on you, and then they come in and hit him with the pillowcases, and the feathers just stuck to him. You know, and then they would laugh and they leave him there. But the part that you don't hear about is when the other black folks would come out and he would be laying there screaming. You have to remove that. You cut it off. You cut it. You peel it. You peel it. You cut it.
And the skin comes with it.
Oh yeah, skin comes with it, and the screams. Oh my God, screams.
When he was running, did anyone seek to help him? Was there any?
No.
Hey, would you? Because now
No.
they're crossing over into.
No, they came across the track.
Our Chocolate City, basically, because there was a railroad track.
Right, the railroad track that
separated.
separated. Down,
And when they pulled up in this truck,
on Broad Street, man, he ran, and the truck came right behind him. No, when people saw it. I was on the porch. We saw it. It's about 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. You know.
People must have been scared during those times that if they assisted, that they would become, victimized.
People are us as a people. I think we've always been scared, but not for ourselves, for our children,
for the little ones,
for the ones coming. Which makes us a more braver. I think we as a people we are. Oh my God, because I've seen some of, not all of them, not nearly, but some of the atrocities that people put upon us. You know, it's a wonder we've lived this long. You know, we've survived as a people.
And how old would you say that brother was? Was he a young guy?
He might have been in his mid-20s, maybe mid-20s. Yeah, he was a young cat. He wasn't, I might have been, I think I was 14 or 14 because I was just going to junior high school in the 7th grade. So, but now when I came back to New York, I came back to New York again. And that's when I couldn't finish school because I didn't go. And so I brought this back with me. When I came back to New York after that, it was different. That's why my attitude was such as it was. When I told you I didn't, earlier when they told me I wouldn't graduate, I didn't see the necessity. I mean, I was really shook by that, so I didn't pursue anything. I just kind of I was in shock because I never seen that type of stuff before. But yeah, it was quite an experience.
Was that the same year that the National Guard escorted you to school?
Yeah, I went the year that Lake Charles, Louisiana became integrated. They allowed black students to come to the school. They had the National Guard there escorting them in the school because they weren't having it. They had nooses, they had blackface. I mean, everything you could imagine.
It sounded like you was about to say they don't come through the back door to school, do they?
I don't. No, we came through the front door. We came through the front door. No, we came through the front door.
So how does the students get to school? You get to school and the National Guard is there to escort you, or?
No, the buses bring you.
Okay.
Or you get there by how the car, how you drive. They drive to the campus, to where the school is at, and then the National Guard is there.
Okay.
They're already there. And when you get out the car, they escort you in. You know, you walk in between. You have a guard on one side, guard on the other side, and they walk you in.
And what is that crowd saying? What are they
Everything you
doing?
could think of. At that point, everything you could think of. Everything short of throwing something at you. But the noose is waving, the blackface, the hatches, the hoods, you know, everything.
Would you say they was imitating their parents?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That sort of stuff is imitated. Racism is a learned behavior. You know, it's not an acquired behavior. It's a learned behavior. You have to be taught that. You know, you have to experience. You have to see that and accept that and embrace that, and then it becomes part of you. You know, which I never understood because that in and of itself is a cancer. You know, but and then after that, I realized that the most important thing is God. Always.
God was walking with you into that building.
God's been walking with me through my whole life. It's just I'm very grateful that I've been able to acknowledge it. You know, God walks with us all. You know,
Absolutely do. I try to tell people when people say, you know, I'm blessed, I said, we all are actually blessed.
Yes.
The moment we wake up and we breathe that air of life,
yes,
you was blessed.
you were blessed. You know, but what do you
It's
do
what
with
you
that
gonna-
blessing?
You look at that, bro. I'm just about to say it's all about what do
I
you
saw
do
it coming.
with
I
it.
saw it coming.
Makes all the difference. What's going through your head, through your 14-year-old mind as you're walking through that crowd? Because in New York, I don't believe
I never
that was
seen
your
that.
experience.
I never heard that
at
before.
all.
I'm fat. You know, actually, to be honest with you, now that I think back, I would like to believe that I was fascinated during that time. You know, because I definitely wasn't harboring it. I wasn't absorbing it. I wasn't taking it in. You know, I didn't. It did. And maybe that's just the God. Then maybe that was God doing this thing then too, because I was truly unaffected by it.
It's
Unaffected by it.
a story that I have for that. I never really told nobody. So I don't even think I told you this. It scarred me. I was probably 9 years old, and same thing. You know, growing up in New York, we didn't know racism or anything like that because it wasn't. You know, my private school we had white kids. You know, so I was going to Esplanade Garden, to the Wayne House. And, you know,
That's Esplanade Garden.
yeah. You know, the 145th Street Bridge.
Right.
So a work van pulled by. And, you know, it's a work van with, I guess, you know, like carpenter guys or something
Right.
like that. And they were all white guys inside the van. And I was standing at the light, you know, because you got to stand at the light where they go. And the guy in the passenger seat looked at me. He looked at me with this cold, disgusting, different type of look that I had never saw or understood. And he talk spit, you know, at me. And that was like, I think, the first time in my life that I had experienced racism. I knew he hawk
Right.
spit
Simply
only because I
because
was black.
you're black.
And I was a little kid. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how could you do something like that, you know? And you know, that always never left me. That was the first experience.
Did you tell anyone?
I just told you.
Not
never
even
told you. It was
Mom, not Dad, no one? You just held it.
just something like that. Just, you know, I was, you know, like you a kid, you know, like, so, you know, which make you worry about our kids, what they might not tell us. But yeah, I just went on to, you know, to my friend's house, and I didn't even tell him.
Didn't even tell your friend.
No, I didn't even tell Dwayne. I just
But
knew
you know,
that I had experienced something that was,
something was negative.
yeah, that was really,
It could have been detrimental
yeah,
to the whole
right.
character.
Yeah, like,
But you know, let me tell you something. But it's interesting because oddly enough, going into the school, yeah, there was nigga, this nigga, we hate you, nigga, go ahead and get. But in my science class. It's, oh my God. There was a cat. I think it was Henry Belcher or Beecher, something like that. Henry something. He was white. And we were cool. We were cool in class. When we got out of class, he called me a nigga. The next day, he apologized and brought me some donuts, some Krispy Kreme donuts. And said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. And I said, well, why'd you do it? Because my dad was standing there.
They was taught it. They were taught it.
It was taught. You know, it was taught. And I think that's what kept me from actually like just feeling a certain way. I think that people who use that or use the race as a dividing thing, I think that's just the most ignorant thing. You know, and you know, a lot of times you wonder what if this same cat, I don't like black people, and then he's finding himself on the hospital bed as a black doctor. But you know, it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
When you have your degree, your, as they call it, the good enough degree, which many of us got on our way out of high school. I understand you joined the Marine Corps.
No, you know what? Let me tell you something. I was going to join the Marine Corps as a joke. And somehow that got on people. I wasn't going. I'm passive. I'm a pacifist. I'm not violent. I can't. It was a gesture that was given to me. Yeah, I mean, I was going to join. But no, I would no. I was going to, but no, I didn't. What happened was Curtis Blow came down to TSU, to Texas Southern, and do a show.
Wow, tell me about that.
And I grew up. And Curtis, I lived on 140th on Amsterdam, and I don't know if he lived on Convent Avenue, which is right around the corner.
Okay.
So we grew up. Actually, he was my younger brother's friend. We were me and his older brother were friends. We were like my brother. He got killed early. He died early. He got shot in the street and died early. Brother. Curtis Blow's brother, his oldest brother.
His oldest brother, who was your age.
Was my age, right?
Okay.
Right. And Curtis is 3 years younger than me, just like my younger brother.
Got it.
But when his older brother died, and Curtis, he came to Texas. He said, "Come to New York and get in this music business." I got and so I came back. I wrote a song for him called "Daydreaming."
Okay.
Right, for Curtis Plays. It was at that time the only rapper to be singing. Daydreaming, take me. That was cool. So I got some notoriety from that, but I didn't get any money, not like I should have. But then I met Russell, and Russell he was just starting. Everything was just starting now. Russell said, "Listen, man, I'm gonna have a label, a Def Jam label. It ain't gonna be no whole lot of money, but it'd be cool. Just come hang out." And so I said, "Okay, when you get the label, I'll come hang out." In between then and that time in Def Jam, I did a record on Mercury.
Okay.
So Rock It Body Down, did a record. I was about to do a record on Elektra. No, Elektra was the record. I was about to do a record on Mercury, and then Def Jam thing happened. So I didn't do the Mercury. I went straight to Def Jam. So it was sort of, and the way I'm explaining is like I'm jumping, but that's kind of how it was. It wasn't planned. Nothing was planned. I didn't, because the only plan I had was actually to go be a doctor. I wanted to be a doctor.
I could totally see that.
Because I thought in that instance I would be able to do something worthy. Because I saw the sacrifices that people I appreciated the sacrifices of my family in Houston and my family, of anyone that tried to give me anything. So that was that. But it's been, up until now, it's been quite a journey.
It sounds like it.
It's been quite a journey, and I'm better for it, I believe.
So Curtis, were you already writing music before?
No,
Curtis
I was studying biology.
You were studying biology?
Yeah.
So you were on the path
Yes, I was
medicine.
to medicine. Yes, I wanted to be a
And
doctor.
when Curtis comes and
Yeah, my
starts
second
this
semester.
conversation
He comes. I leave my third semester. I leave college.
and comes back to New York.
Come back to New York.
And was Def Jam in its infant stages
Yes.
yet? Did they even have an office
But there was no
yet?
Def Jam. It was just Rush Management. It's Russell, and it was
Okay.
a bunch of cats coming up. I walk in. It's Rush Management. So I mean, it's a bunch of cats. Yeah, my name is Big Daddy Kane. I'm Houdini. I'm Dougie Fresh. You know what I mean? And who you? I'm Oran Juice Jones. You know, and so you see cats coming up. Queen Latifah. Hip hop was exploding. You know, and everybody was excited about it. But you know, even then, I was really in it for the art, man. I didn't really think about the money. You know, I should have thought about the money, but
You know what I grasped right away, that according to what you just shared, Russell said it's gonna be cool.
yeah,
We're gonna have a
a
lot
lot
of
of
fun,
fun.
but ain't gonna
It'll
be
be
no
a whole lot of
money.
money.
I'm like, what? The intro of that is like, you know,
That's what it was.
you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some fun, but
you know,
gonna be a whole lot of money.
he told that to everybody.
This is what I believe
Yeah,
you when you say
everyone.
that. That was the intro.
Yeah, and I'm talking about hip hop. I'm talking about it's yours. You know, Tila Rock, like Doug Buck Starsky. You know, like that. The Cold Crush Brothers. You know, I think those cats already coming. This is Big Daddy Kane, Run DMC, Public Enemy was just coming out. The Beastie Boys. I mean, everybody was just coming up right now. Cats was, Queen Latifah had just got on. But she was still Dana at the time. You know. I mean, everything was coming up, was coming together.
Slick
You know,
Rick.
Slick Rick was coming. Yeah, he came.
LL.
LL. Hey,
of course.
he was came. Puffy hadn't even got there yet. And when Puffy came, he was carrying crates. He hadn't got there yet. Jermaine Dupri was still carrying crates. That's why it was that far back. You know, so, and it was a great time. And you know what's crazy? All of those cats, it was the same spiel. It's gonna be a cool situation, not a lot of money. You know. But you know, it's during that time, everyone, the art, that was the
Yeah.
focus. The art. As soon as cats got, we can make money.
Right. There's actually money attached.
There's actually
to
money with this. Now, give me. Give me mine, give me mine. And then that evolves to, give me mine, give me mine. Give me yours, give me yours. Let's get theirs. Now, let's get it all. You know, and when you get to that point, let's get it all. You already crossed the threshold. I'll do anything. You know, because while it's just art, I want you to do this. Well, what's that got to do with art? You know, you know, I'm an artist. You know, I'm focused on the art. But now there's money. Oh, there's money. What I got to do to get the money?
Why R&B?
Because there's rhythm without blues. I wanted to put rhythm without blues, baby. I wanted to maintain that rhythm on our blues, man. You know, because that's the basis of it all. You know, the black struggle. You know, our struggle as the people, our perspective. You know, in regard to that struggle, as a result of that struggle, that's music. That's the music you listen to. You know, I mean everything.
Yeah.
Country, jazz, blues, everything stems
Sure.
from that. You know.
It's a part of our wiring.
Yeah, but that's
Not
what
function.
them Tombs. I mean, was it Tombs? I think it was Tombs. He said, music. The purpose of music is to describe the mentality, to illustrate the mentality of the times, to make audible the mentality of the times. That's the purpose of music. I think it was Tombs who said that. And that's true. That's why the music, if you want to understand a particular peak moment in time, listen to the music. And the music will tell you, you know, what was going on during that time.
Absolutely.
In the 60s, with the Chambers Brothers, with Time, you know, the Chambers Brothers, Gil Scott Heron, you know, the Last Poets, you know, that music, you know, disco, salsa. You know, everything, the mentality of the times. I'm sorry, brother.
No. Why did we start? Because, like, in our generation, when we grew up, what was mainly probably confusing is that the rappers started rapping as if they had money, you know, that they didn't have. You know, how did that get ushered in?
Because I believe that to be a result of slavery. You know, because I think we as a people have always used our material possessions to validate us. You know, that's the bottom line.
That's deep.
You know, that's why you can live in the projects, but you got a Benz parked outside. You know, you ain't got money to buy food, but you don't have the new Jordans. You know, because those material things validate us. They make us. They acknowledge to the world that we are worthy to be here because we have accomplished what it takes. We have accomplished the same thing, if not greater, of our counterparts. You know, I'm not white, and not saying white is better, but so I'm not better, or I'm not Spanish. I'm not whatever's better. I'm not better. I'm not that, but I have this, which makes me equivalent to that. You know, which is why I'm going to spend more than anybody. I want the best of everything. Even though I represent a small minority, because in this way, I'm relevant. You know?
And I'm visible.
And I'm visible. And because of slavery, I wasn't relevant. Because of slavery, I was told I was invisible. But not now. Because I have this big diamond on my hand, or these new sneakers, or this whatever it is that makes me.
And I guess it was important to put an image out there to the youth and the kids that you were better, because that's...
This is how you caught up.
Yeah.
This is how you catch up to your white counterparts.
Yeah, we looked and we thought, these, you know, we see them on TV, we see the cars that wasn't theirs, the jewelry that wasn't theirs, and, you know, we thought that they were living, you know, rock star lives.
Right, but that's what I was telling V earlier. I didn't know how broke I was, so I made some money. You know, so that's crazy. I didn't know how broke I was until I got some money.
Wow,
We always hear now that the artists are given advances. You know, you get your advance. This is supposed to hold you over into the shows, and all of those things start rolling in. Was it similar to Jeff Jam? Was that how business was
they
done
gave
back
advances,
then?
but they gave advances, but they didn't. We didn't understand the purpose of the advance. Is for you to initiate the dream, the lifestyle that you're talking about that you haven't had, that you haven't earned, because you still lack the tools to create that, to manufacture that, to manifest that. But this is your magic trick. You know, here I'm gonna give you this. Take this. Go build yourself up the way that you're presenting yourself to the masses, because it's got to be believable, because if they can't see it, they can't buy into it. And I need them to buy into it, because if they don't buy into it, then I can't trap them. You know what I'm saying?
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot
I got to get the rats in one place, so I got to have the king rat that looking good and draw them in, and then I can close the door. You know, so if he don't look good, they won't. You know what I'm saying? I got to get him in. You know.
That makes a lot of sense.
And
So the advance is necessary. That's part of it.
Right.
Did that start with Def Jam?
That started with that. No, that started with I actually started with. I don't know when it started. I know Sam Cooke developed the money, the royalty system. That we I think, from what I understand, Sam Cooke developed it, with how we determine how you get paid based on your royalty, how the records, the mechanics of it. So I guess it probably stemmed from there, because up to that point they probably were just giving us Cadillacs, you know. And then when Sam Cooke developed the mechanics of this is how you get paid, and then I guess those cats knew how they were getting paid, but I don't think they shared the information. In fact, I'm certain they didn't, because if Sam Cooke actually did invent it, he didn't give it to the masses, because if he had, it would have defeated the purpose. You know, I think those cats, and I think that's a result of slavery too. You know, once you gain the information, you don't share it with the rest of them. You can hold it to yourself.
You hold it so tight.
Yeah, hold it tight.
Yeah.
You know, and that also, it don't make you one of us, but it keeps you in the room. You know, but you think you're in the room because you validate yourself by holding on to it, but you're in the room anyway, because how are we going to know what they're thinking if you're not in the room and you're not bringing it back to us? We ain't going to talk to them.
Correct.
So we'll name you a gatekeeper. You keep the gate.
That's a name that we're hearing a lot about these days, the gatekeepers.
That's the purpose. I'm not going to leave my office in Fifth Avenue to come down up to Harlem or Watts or wherever. I'm not coming in the inner city and talk to you. I'm going to find one of you that's able to come talk to me and bring the message. I'm going to keep him fly. So when he go back, you can see what you down there with them. You looking like that? I'm going to come down there with you. You got to do this. Okay.
Well, them shiny things can be
Oh, them
quite
shiny
distracting.
things, yeah. Let me get some of that. Come on down here and get it. Okay, what you gotta do? Well, we gotta go back there and tell them this. But that's not true. Well, that don't matter. Tell them what you gotta tell them. Because the more of them we can get, the better it is for us.
Who was it when you were you managed by Rush
Yeah.
Management and Sign?
And
Def
side,
Jam?
yeah.
So
that's a conflict of interest in itself. In and of
Right.
itself. But I'm gonna tell you something. Russell, Russell, we were friends.
Okay.
And he didn't. And Russell had his hands full. It wasn't like he was raping up. I shouldn't even say that. Pause. Golly, man,
Taking
that got me out
advantage
here. It's not like he was raped. It's not like we were at a disadvantage. Because, as I said earlier, I didn't know how broke I was until I made some money. I mean it figuratively. I didn't know how at a disadvantage I was until I actually Russell allowed us. What he gave us was the opportunity to go get it for ourselves.
Okay.
Right? He didn't give it to you. He gave you the opportunity to get it for yourself. You had the initiative to go get it, then you ain't got it. And if you didn't, then you didn't. I wanted to go get it, but something always popped up that kept me from going to get it. A family issue, my parents, my mother got terminal. That was the end of it. I was in New Jack City. I had already signed the contracts. The G Money part, if you ever watched that movie.
Yes.
Of course, that's
Well,
So
the
I had
you
G-Money.
had
I wrote
the script?
all of the lines you hear in that. When I got the part, I said, and if you don't, right, there'll be no lawsuit, so you ain't good. It's true. Yeah, I said the script is. I want to change some of these words, most of these words, because I wouldn't say that. And they said, okay, Juice, do change it. I changed it, but then I ran into a situation. There was issues with Def Jam, and then my mother got ill. She got terminally ill, and when that happened, I sort of like
I totally could see that too. That was your role.
Yeah, it was not.
No, I totally could see
it was
that.
the G
You know
Money.
what I'm
Yeah.
Did you have
Yeah.
to audition?
No,
for
I
G-Money,
was.
or
I
did
already.
this-
They have seen some. I was in. Alan Payne came after. Wesley went and got Alan, and that's another story. When that happened, right? I'm gonna tell you. I'm not telling nobody this is truth. The truth here to happen. When I was on my head, I got out of it. I was just, and me and Russell was going to war, and Doug McHenry, and George Jackson, they were the directors of the movie. And I was cool with George, but Doug, we didn't talk that much, and it just kind of knocked out of it. And then all of a sudden, I hate Alan Payne, Alan Payne. Wesley Snipes went and got Alan Payne. Me and my man, right, Gene Harris, right, Playboy Gene, right. This how stupid I was. I got strapped up. I'm gonna look for this guy. I'm gonna Wesley Snipes. I'm gonna blow his head off.
Why?
Right? Because he got knocked out. They told me Wesley Snipes wouldn't knock you out, got you knocked out. The part, he the one that went and got Alan Payne. You over? That's
So it was already confirmed.
I already had
was
scenes. I already
G-Money.
been rehearsing. I was
Okay.
G Money.
Okay.
I rewrote the script for me.
Okay.
Suddenly,
And
boom,
when
bam,
did you
I'm
get
out.
the news?
When I get the news, Alan Payne's in, and I get the news. Wesley Snipes brought him, right? So I went looking for Wesley Snipes, and I wasn't going to shoot him, and I just went. I know I was strapped, but then I left the guns in the car because I said I'm not going to do that. That's crazy. But we was going to tag that ass. We going to tap that ass, But then when we got there, Wesley Snipes was like. I said, it was something. And he was like, no, man, I ain't do that. No, Juice, you my man, I wouldn't do it. What was your problem? I would never do that. And he was, humble, to the point where it was like, I felt like, damn, why am I even out here? This brother ain't going. Fast forward. So we left, everything's cool. Fast forward, maybe a couple of years. I'm looking at television, man, a few years, but like, I'm seeing Wesley Snipes on here with Kung Fu masters. But this nigga's Blade. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, Blade? And then the special come on with these different Kung Fu man. He's in there and he's doing all. And I'm like, that wasn't no acting. He really know that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and then the come back there and then I went and then I found him later and I thanked him. And I said, man, brother, listen, thank you for not kicking my, 100 different ways, And it was just, and I learned even from that brother's humility put me to shame. The most beautiful cat. And I was just a savage. And in that instance, I realized that was God with me. But I learned from that also. I learned from that the humility is as important to us as breathing. Being of a humble nature.
What did I'm a little? You got to just backtrack for me. What did Russell have to do with New Jack City?
Russell was involved with the financing of it, from what I understand. He was involved with the financing.
I never knew that he had any hand in New Jack City.
Oh yeah. No? Russell had New Jack City. Yeah, for sure. New Jack City. The other one, Wild Style, the first one, the one with Blair Underwood, Crush Groove.
Yeah, I knew that. I didn't know.
Yeah, he was involved.
City.
But it was all. I mean, George Jackson was a cool cat. God bless him, he was a cool cat. And everything was connected at that point. Movies, television, they were trying to create the union between everything, hip hop world. The fashions. I mean, everything was trying to be use hip hop as a foundation and spring forth from that. So yeah, he was heavily involved in that.
But you were the king, the godfather of R&B. You were Grammy nominated. When did your relationship with Def Jam or Rush Management start to sour?
What
was it like getting that notice you were Grammy nominated?
I got nominated. The one that you hear about is the best male vocalist, right, at that time. But there was another Grammy nomination for best video.
And was that for which song?
The Rain.
For The Rain.
For The Rain. The difference is the reason why I couldn't get nominated was because in order for my understanding, the video had to be the one in a particular version, which made it a long form. It was $10,000 between what I had and what I needed to make me qualify for the video. And he didn't give it to me.
Wow.
And I was going. I didn't find out. I would have got it myself.
Right.
The mere fact that he hadn't given it to me, or hadn't gotten it, and that was the only difference between me getting nominated for this second Grammy, was $10,000. I was livid. I was out.
So
so that was the beginning.
That was the beginning.
Yeah,
once
that was the beginning.
nomination.
That was the beginning.
How do you hear?
And he didn't even show up. I should have got that.
Yeah.
They had to hold me. I started to run up there and grab that. Because they was holding me.
So you were at the Grammys.
Yeah, at the Grammys. Yeah, I mean, Luther, it was me. Who else was it? It was Billy Ocean, Luther Vandross, and a couple. I think Jeffrey Osborne, and me, and James Brown.
Wow, the Godfather.
Yeah, James Brown. And so that picture come up, and everybody's picture come in, they call your name, you say play the song, your picture come up, and I'm sitting there, and I'm on the corner now, and I'm waiting, because if they say something, I know what everybody did. I know the numbers. I know it's my turn. It's my turn. They don't say my name. I don't care who it is. I'm going to grab it. And they said James Brown. And I said, okay, I'm giving me a go. And my man said, let me tell you something, man. If it had been anybody else, you can do that. Godfather of Soul. James Brown. You don't take this moment. You let this rock. And I said, I feel cheated. He said, yeah, but you let this rock. This is greater than that. He wasn't even there.
Oh, so someone had to
pick it up for him.
behalf.
And I really wanted to go get it. But then he was like, this is his moment. This is, don't do that.
Was anyone else at Def Jam nominated that year?
No.
For a Grammy? So you are,
Yeah.
the Shooting Phoenix.
Yeah. And I'm
From
hot.
Def Jam. How do you get notified you're nominated for a Grammy? I'm
they send it to you.
visualizing a gold
They
letter
sent it to you.
or something.
And, I think they sent it to you. I think they told me at the label. But see, I can't. I tell all of it, man. It's like I had been bitter because The Rain got nominated because people requested the record.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, Def Jam, Columbia, no one put money behind The Rain. No one. I was not marketed or promoted at all. No, it was a frisbee. The purpose of OBR record label was to lose money.
Explain that to us.
We gonna see the visitors later on. Now what I'm saying to you now, there's no way to prove it, because I'm not, and I doubt if anyone's gonna ever call you and say I'm lying, But from as it is, man, Def Jam Records was making a lot of money. They had to. Russell and Rick Rubin had come to an impasse. Russell genuinely wanted to make R&B music.
Okay.
Rick Rubin genuinely did not. So he said, well, I'm gonna form another label underneath Def Jam and OBR. I'm gonna do my soul thing over this R&B over there. And Rick Rubin said, I'm gonna go over here and mess with these cats, Slayer. The white rock band. Yeah.
Okay.
Slayer. I'm gonna get with them. Remember, he was down with them one time. Slayer. Well, I remember we went to listen to their record. When they made the album, so they had a listening party. They put the album on. The lights went out in the building. Everybody black in the building ran out. Nobody listened to it. Everybody. Oh, we know what that is. They was talking about we gonna kill the priests while they sleep in the heaven will rain the blood.
Okay.
And I said, oh my goodness.
That's where we get out.
Let me understand, because that's interesting. So Rick Rubin
He went-
went and pretty much created that.
Yeah, he went on that direction. He went and started doing something like with that. I mean, not that he was doing the devil stuff. He was just doing, he's doing his thing. And Russell, his thing, he was doing his thing, which was sort of R&B, which was me, Allison Williams, this cat Tayshawn, Chuck Stanley, cat. He had a record Day by Day. He a remake of that. He had a group called the Black Flames. That was on there. There was later on. Those images were taken from an executive who worked there and went to another record label and took those images and incorporated them in that label, and that's where you saw. Like that's enough. I won't. He's dead now, but he created something else over there.
So the people pushed The Rain.
The people pushed The Rain. People called and said, "I want to hear that Rain record."
I remember there was a request.
Yeah.
You could actually call up the radio station.
But that's what I got. I got
KIFM.
requests. That's what sold me. The request, Frankie Crocker was on it. Frankie Crocker, that was my man. Frankie Crocker, he looked out for me. He looked out for me.
Wow.
He's a good brother, Frankie Crocker. You never hear that name no more, I guess. Maybe. But he looked out for me. Hank Spann was looked out.
When you recorded The Rain, did you know that you had hit a diamond? Did you know it?
No, actually, when I recorded The Rain, the song, there was another reason why I was hot with them cats, man, because the song was done.
Okay.
And I sat there, and then when I realized that, I didn't realize it. For some reason, I just felt that I needed to do something else to distinguish that from every other record that's going to come after it or has come before it. Which is the format for that type of record is girl meets guy fall in love, girl cheats on guy, they break up, somebody done somebody wrong song, So what separates? There's been songs like that up and down, and there'll be songs after. What will separate this from what's come or what's gonna come? So let's get the monologue.
Was that your idea, the monologue?
Yeah. Well, actually, it was my idea. Russell, when I told Russell what I wanted to do, he said, well, yeah, it's a great idea, Say, you gotta make it funny, you gotta make it witty, you gotta make. And say, yeah, but I'm not. He said, you gotta be bitches. No, I'm not gonna curse. I'm not gonna do all that. I'm not gonna do none of that. You know.
He said you gotta beat bitches up.
That was hip hop, baby. You know, I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that, man, because I want to hear it 30 years from now. I want to hear it for a while from now. I don't want to do that. And so he said, okay, all right, do it. So I did that. I spent my own money, went in and added that part to that the monologue.
Wow.
And that's what's say. That's what's
But
saying.
he's your manager.
And not only
He was
that,
management, but Russell was just in my friend. But he wasn't. I wasn't hip hop. That's when it became. I was an alternative. Russell, I didn't go to Russell with a rap record trying to get on. You know, when he said come over to Def Jam, my introduction to Russell was as a writer for Curtis Blow. So I might have survived that. But as an artist, I wasn't rapping. I was singing.
Okay.
You know, and we were friends. We were actually friends. We still friends now. You know, he cheated me every dime I ever got. You know, he did.
friends like that.
No, but you know what it is. You know, I want, and I don't know if a lot of artists say this. He couldn't have cheated me if I hadn't been high. You know what I'm saying? If I hadn't been out here running around from women to women, you know, before I met my wife. You know, if I hadn't been just trying to capture all those things that I thought was that I never had, that weren't necessary in the first place, you know. But had I not been clogged-minded, my mind just, no one can take something from you that when you're aware. You know, when you see people, if they have lost in their heart, they can lose. You know, he couldn't steal from me if I wasn't in a position to be stolen from. You know. So that's
Could he had maybe helped you though as your friend? Because it's different when someone is like, you know, just a business management or something like that. But as your friend, could he helped you?
But during those drug years, I wasn't even in a position to talk to God. You know, so if I couldn't talk to God, I definitely couldn't talk to him. Talk to my, you know, I had to become reacquainted with God. You know, as corny as that may sound, that was it. You know, I had gotten so far away. I hadn't gotten decadent yet because my upbringing wouldn't allow that. But I was in the room, and I saw, and I knew that, you know, when a man knows, when you know, you can't unknow.
Right.
You know, you can't claim ignorance once you know. And I knew my upbringing allowed me to know this is right, this is wrong. Don't do this, don't do that. You know, have a reverence for God. I lost that during those years. The music business took that, you know, and they didn't take it. I gave it away. You know, that's why I couldn't get bitter. That's why I can't get bitter now. You know, but fortunately enough, I didn't stray so far away that I wasn't able to find my way back. You know, and my own perseverance and the association with people, with family, you know, and the continued association by being here. You know, this strengthens my resolve. You know,
And as you mentioned earlier, being in service.
and being in service. Yeah.
And being in service. That was such a vainglorious period. Hip hop was still a baby. R&B was now being married to hip hop. What was some of the parties like back then?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was, you know, during that time, you know, see, it was interesting because R&B and hip hop, up until that point, the power, the music business and hip hop, it was hip hop interacting with the music business, but they remained the roles remained the same. I'm the manager. I'm the artist. I'm the producer. But then the entrepreneurial thing started, and the artists and they started saying, well, I can get that money. I can do it. You know, you could see where the lines, you could cross over those lines if you were willing to do certain things. You know, if you were willing to you know, get involved. You know, and as people, as artists became more aware of the possibility of what, you know, of what they could become involved with, you know, and some of them made that decision to take that route, you know, you know, I'm trying to say stuff without saying stuff, you know, because
We understand.
I don't want to. I mean, I know you're aware of how this thing works.
I'm learning.
You know.
I'm the ever-present student. I know
Yeah.
that Def Jam lineup that we saw, that was you, Curtis, Run DMC. Only a few survived.
But because there's a concentrated effort
Yeah.
that you don't really become aware of until you either become part of it or you cast out or you leave. You don't have to be cast out. You're never cast out. You just, because people who are cast out, I think there's a definite alternative for that. You know, I think a lot of deaths that have been realized are a result of people getting involved and perhaps realizing, whoa, you know.
Right.
And then you know, but and then again, that's you know, I know when I became the parties when I became aware, really not even aware to like I see to see right, it's just aware, you know, just of what it actually entailed, what it was. Then you know what your commitment to it has to be in order for you to survive the impact of it. And therein lies the challenge. Are you willing to do what it takes to stay here?
And what does it take to stay there?
Depends on where you want to stay.
So, like right now, let's just say, for instance, right now we hear a lot that's going on. You're just telling us that, like with Puff Daddy and Cassie and people, you know, a lot of his artists have came out and said that they pretty much had, you know, to compromise themselves, their souls, if they wanted to become successful. We heard that, you know, she put out a big lawsuit that, you know, he settled in the one day, and you sort of things.
I never
Brother
met
Russell is
the,
gone.
the things that
Russell's
the
Brother
things that
Russell has
said-
left not just the building,
the things
the hemisphere.
the things that said in that lawsuit is just downright almost, you know,
Horrendous.
evil.
Evil.
It's horrendous, you know, the things that you can hear. So that makes you wonder, is that which is it was that back then, like
You know, I can only imagine, man. I to be honest with you, brother, brother Sean, I have what I experienced at the level that I experienced it, but what I saw was not. I think I didn't get as deeply involved as I could have, as I would have to have been to see the stuff that's going on today. You know, I wasn't that. I never met. I met Puffy actually came to my party first.
Wow.
You know, that I had a party. Me and Big Daddy Kane, we had a party, and you know I had VHS. I had the, you know, they recorded it, and I have a copy of him. I don't know what I think he was new to the music business at that time, but he was there in an all-white suit with a white hat on, and he got in the picture, you know. And I remember I didn't know him. But I saw him. I said, I don't know who that kid is, but I think he's gonna be something, because I don't know who knew him, but but nobody knew him, but then everybody knew him. So you know, but I never. I think that's the only time I think I paths crossed briefly, once before, once after that. That's the only interaction I've ever had with that brother. But you know, I don't know the details of his situation with that chick and with that young lady or and even with Russell. I mean, you know, I try to not get involved, because a lot of people have come and asked me about those situations. I try not to get involved with that, because those bricks, man, if they did it, then that's you know, I'm sure that they're gonna be handled. You know, if they didn't do it, then perhaps this is that you can't have a testimony without being tested. You know, I you know, but I know that I am not so far away from sin that I can, you know, even have an opinion about anyone else. So I just stay away.
most of the successful artists during that time, you know, admittingly themselves, they were on drugs and did different things, but they were promoted and they were made successful to where they at now.
Right.
Why? I always wondered to me, and it always come in my mind, why didn't you was at that time like most anticipated? So, what stopped? What would stop that door for opening for you? Would you say?
For me personally, it was me. That's personally. That's why I could never harbor any ill will toward anybody or feel bitter or feel like I've been cheated or I hate to. I just don't have it, man.
You chose not to go in the
I
door.
can't have it because I actually walked away from it. You know, so when I walked away from, you don't walk away from part of it. I walk away from all of it. You know, but I had a lot of, you know, when my mother becoming terminal, that's what really.
That's what did it.
That's what did it. You know, had she not been terminal, I might have been. I'm gonna take another shot. You know, and trying because I had the resources. You know, and I'm still young. I was still enthusiastic about the music. You know, but her illness, she said, I would like to see some of the things that I wanted to see. You know, during the course of my life, if that's possible. You know, I pawned everything. I sold everything. I got rid of everything. And Wendy and our kids, our 3 children. She said, we're gonna go. I don't know where we're gonna go. I'm gonna go where we're going. Wherever she wants to go. We rented a car. I sold everything. We rented a car. And where you wanna go? And we literally, I wanna go there. We went there. Stay here for a month. I wanna go there. Stay here for 6 months. I did that until her death. You know.
When did she pass?
She's been going now about 12 years. But that lasted for about 5 years, you know. And then she said, "Don't go back to New York. Stay in Houston. Raise your children here." And by that time, I had 5 children. So I would leave my wife and children in Houston, and I would fly back and forth to New York to work, you know. So, and even in that instance, that was God, because every time I come back to New York, man, I fall right back into the poison, man. You know, because I got to endure it because I got to get this money to send back to take home. You know? And then, but as God would have it, I stayed there long enough just to endure it. And then when it came time to go home, I would leave and get back to Houston and get back to my family, to a respect for God. You know, God, we're gonna go to the kingdom home. My family's Jehovah's Witness, so. It was a little bit of everything, but the Jehovah's Witness is what I rocked with because every and I hope I'm not trying to sound, but it's just that they appealed to me more because they had no opinion about anything. Their perspective came strictly from the Bible, you know. So I tended to go in that direction, but I didn't get that in New York. I would have to come back and forth, but. And, you know, I think God has walked with me my entire life, man. You know, I know He has. He's walked this, you know, and I've been better for it.
As a little kid, when I was a child, I originally stayed with my babysitter because my parents, you know, they worked. So during the week, I stayed with her, and I would come to my parents on the weekend. Sometimes not even then. You know, I pretty much stayed with my babysitter till maybe about 8 years old, 7 years old on 144th Street.
Yeah.
Lennox.
Yeah, Lennox. Yeah, Lennox.
No. 144th Lennox is 7th in the block.
Okay.
Tenement buildings. Shout out to 144th. That's like, you know, those brothers love me there because I grew up there, you know, in that block with them. And my babysitter, you know, at the time, Miss Rose, you know, she was in the Kingdom Hall, so I pretty much grew up. I have that, you know, path too, because I went to a Christian private school, but then I was with her, so it was like I got both of those worlds.
Right.
And they was over the house every day. You know what I'm saying? Over the house every day with the watchtower and stuff like that, and I sit back and, you know.
It was either that or Islam. It was either Jehovah's Witnesses or Islam. And they're both, I mean, they're similar. They're the same, actually the same cat created both of them. But I don't know, man. I think that I'm just fortunate in that sense that God has always been a part of my life, you know, and it's gotten me through a lot of. Def Jam was an experience. The whole music, and my daughter she's in the music business now. She's singing, so I'm still in it, but you know, I'm not of it. Sort of like the world, you know. You want to be in it, but not of it.
And what is that like, seeing her as a musician?
But I
and
realize
going
that's God doing
forward?
this thing because she's gonna make mistakes, but she won't make my mistakes.
Right.
You know.
Is she a rhythm and blues also?
Yeah, she's gonna sign.
Wow.
We're on the verge of signing a deal with her now, if the numbers are correct.
Nice.
You know. But again, the pitfalls of this industry, and there's a lot of them. You know, and I think that's the biggest problem, that the older cats who know won't really share it with the younger cats because they don't have the sense enough to be or the humility enough to come and ask for it. You know? That's probably been that's been the problem of our people for the longest. I think.
For a long time.
For a long time.
I saw that 2014 you performed on the Jimmy Kimmel Show.
Yeah, the cat is a
was
cool
that
cat.
like?
Yeah, that was
What was
cool.
that
He
like?
called me, man. The cats called me. I didn't even know he had the number. He called, yeah. It was really cool. They called and they said, man, come down to the show. It was his birthday. It wasn't like it was booked and I wasn't even hot. That was personal with him. He's his birthday. Come on down. I said, cool. I caught the flu that night.
Oh man.
I performed that with the flu. I had the flu when I went on there. You know,
Couldn't tell.
Yeah, but if I felt it, it was you. And you know, that was a beautiful thing. I know this whole ride has been really amazing, and it hasn't been like, I don't mean amazing like it's been a whole lot of money, a whole lot of action, but just the people that I've gotten a chance to meet and the perspectives that I've gotten a chance to interact with, you know. And it gets better and better and better as we go along, because as good as I thought it was ever going to get, now sitting here with this brother here, this is the height of it all. Not really mean, and I'm not saying, because I'm not really a good names. I don't remember names that well. And faces but I'm a vibe cat. You know, I'm a vibe. I don't have to read the whole book to know the stories about. You know what I'm saying? And your vibe, brother, I'm not just amping you up. I'm telling you this from here to heaven. I am better for this time that we've spent together, because my perspective, my options have increased. I see things not differently, but I see you don't cause me to see it different. You cause me to reaffirm what I already know. You know what I'm saying?
And that means you don't know how special that is to me, man, because you do the same for me. For you to be someone that, like my wife could tell you, you know what I'm saying, that I honor so much and look up to, for to even hear something like that from you.
Oh, brother, listen, let me tell you something. This is God doing this thing, really. The only thing I've ever really prayed for and asked God for is enlightenment. To enlighten me at points. Make me better, by way of interaction. And I've been, thus far it's been that way. And like I said, it gets better. Even, me and V over you don't see him. He's on the other side of things, but that is him too.
Yes.
And this sister here.
Powerful
This
brothers
lets
back
me know.
there behind that camera.
This lets me know that my convictions are real. And that's what it is. You feel a certain way, but you don't know. I'm gonna stay straight to this path, but I don't know. But then, like I said, it's not the journey or the destination. It's the company we keep along the way. And that's your path goes in this direction, and then it crosses with another. And at that point, we interact, like right now. And then I realize, I'm in the right direction. Because if I wasn't, I would have never met you.
Yes, absolutely.
I got to be going the right way.
Yes.
You understand?
That's powerful.
And I know I'm going the right way because why?
We
Because this is
saying it
me.
together, brother.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I can see this.
Absolutely.
I ain't got to wonder.
Yes.
And I know God is doing this thing.
Yes, it is, brother.
He is.
That's like
And that's
again
not-
what my
yeah.
wife said when our partner started singing that night. God spoke to me and was saying, "I'm giving you a confirmation right now."
Yeah, we're going to link up. This is
And
what's going to
that
happen.
was like, wait, that had to be God. You know what I'm saying? Like he's an Italian man and a whole nother thing. I would expect him to start singing, who knows, Madonna or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, but he started singing you, and it was a dream almost. You know, at that point of even getting you here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But
man.
I
No,
would-
brother, we was destined. This was going to happen. This was supposed to happen.
I would tell you something though.
Yes, sir.
So you're gonna chuckle on.
Okay.
This ain't the first time we hooked up.
I was going to say that, but you know, like I said, I'm not good with faces.
I'ma tell
I'm
you.
sorry, I'm not good with...
I'm gonna tell you, I was a little kid. So I was on maybe the 102 bus or the 7 bus, and it was a few little kids on the bus.
Really?
Yes. You had on a black and red what you call the baseball type jackets, a baseball type jacket.
Yeah,
Started
okay.
like
You
a
had
starter
on,
jacket?
some gray sweatpants.
Okay.
Lighter gray than that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
was on
that's
there
my
chilling.
thing, yeah.
Check this. This you should probably remember. It was so many years ago, but you might remember. So some little kids was on the bus and started messing with you and said, "Wait up, we know you. Ain't you Orange Juice Jones?" And you was like, "No, that's my twin brother."
Really?
That was me.
Like these
That was you?
That was me,
bratty
bro.
kids.
Little bratty kids, little fat kids. You was sitting at the back of the bus. You was chilling. This had to be the early 90s. And you was chilling, and and we ran in the back of the bus, and I'm like,
Right, okay.
said, "Wait up, dude. Ain't you Orange Juice Jones?" He was like, nah, that's my twin brother. And we looked at you like, no, it is you. But you was like, no, it's my twin brother.
I never fessed up? I didn't
No,
fess up?
you never
Oh,
will. You
man,
was
that
like-
was my bad.
you was like-
man. That was
a
because...
bunch
was
of
like,
bratty
my twin
kids.
brother, my twin
Oh,
brother.
man. Nah, I
That-
should
that
have
was-
fessed up. I'm sorry, brother.
That was me. It was,
Yeah,
it
I
was
used to do
okay.
that a lot. You know why I used to do that? Because I got one time there was a kid and his father, he was with his father, and he said, "Orange Juice Jones," and I said, "Okay, hey, what's happening?" And the cat was Orange Juice Jones, and his father said, "How you doing?" And I said, "Hey, how you doing, man?" And I was getting ready to shake his father's hand, and the kid said, No, I saw him, like that, and I'm like, "That's disrespectful."
Yeah.
You know, that's disrespectful. Don't do that. Don't ever disrespect you. Don't do that. And the father thanked me. And for some reason, I don't know, I just, the whole idol thing, somebody see you, and if you want to give them something, I saw cats buying into that. Yeah, I'm all that. I'm that nigga. Yeah, I'm that. A lot of times, I would like, nah, I'm not that cat. But you know, you don't really want that cat. That cat, if I was that cat, he be honoring you. He be saying how great you are because you're gonna go somewhere that cat can't go because you're like, how old are you, 12, 14? That cat's a grown man. By the time you get his age, you'll be done something great. He may not even be forgotten. He'll be forgotten about. So listen, it was some sort of off. I don't know if it was. I don't know how I could. But if I said that, I honestly did
We
say that.
felt that. We
You
knew
know,
it was.
it wasn't
real.
me
It was
being.
obvious.
It wasn't
No.
me being.
You was humble.
You know, I was trying to. Yeah, I was
you
shirking because
totally
I always
humble.
had a problem with that.
Yeah,
man. I
you
always
was
had a
totally
problem.
humble about it.
Yeah, it wasn't-
You know, but you just, we were little kids, and we like, it's you, and you was like,
man,
nah,
yeah.
this is my twin brother.
Because I'm telling you, I had no. It's odd, man. I had no aspirations. I wanted to be a doctor, man. You know, I mean, for real. You know, I thought I really, I don't know. The music business just sort of happened. You know, I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad it happened.
But it just happened, brother. And you know, and if I've gotten anything out of it, it's that people are people, man. You know, you got to deal with them individually. You know, I'm looking at the world today, the circumstance that we're in today, with people not being able to identify their genders, and You know, and they have there's a sexual revolution going on.
Oh boy.
You know.
Quite a bit.
I do have one question.
Yes, sir.
Before, not to interrupt you, honey. Are you the first R&B singer that blended hip hop and who was rapping on a record?
I like to think I was. I'm hoping. I'm trying to think. No, I'm not the first. I'm the first that did it the way I did it. You know, but I'm not actually the first because
Michael Bivins?
no, me before that, the Intruders. I want to
Way
know
before that.
your name. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
You know,
they
hey, my
rap.
name is Sonny. You know,
Oh,
I like cookies and things like that. You did.
Okay.
You know what I'm
You know, say that.
I mean, but I think I was the first to do it with direction. There was a definite focus on my spiel. It wasn't arbitrary. I wasn't trying to rap to get. I was saying something specific and addressing a specific circumstance.
Yeah, he was rapping with Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah, well, Kane was I love Kane is the flyest cat in this game.
Both of you were back then.
Yeah, at that point.
Absolutely.
But Kane is still rocking. Now I saw Kane do a show. In fact, I'm going to a show of his, I think. I think I'm going to go to, he has a show, I think in Houston, I'm going to fly into to check him out. But he's still doing this thing, man. Those cats, Kane, Chuck D, it's a bunch of cats that are still in this game that are doing their thing. And I'm so proud of these cats, man. You know, but you still in this game doing your thing.
Yeah.
You was rapping, man. Have you told them about when you what? Come on.
No, I dare see. Hopefully soon I want to start.
No, I'm talking about before, man. When you was in the rap group before.
Yeah, many years ago.
Many years
I
ago.
got a chance to sign with Teddy Riley.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I ran with the Get Fresh crew.
Yep.
You know, I was.
You ain't know that, did you?
Howard Hewitt brought me out on stage. I performed. You know, and opened up for him. You know. I had a.
But you remained unscathed though, brother, because the set you was on, it was a fast track.
Yeah, and that was so many years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was one of the first kids that was, actually rapping when it was considered not cool. That was before the gangsters.
Yeah,
took over.
before.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When they used to say only nerds was rapping, I was that, and they used to say I was stealing Heavy D rhymes because I was that good. I was actually that good.
You know, man, it's been a journey, brother. But where you started to where you are right now, it's been incredible. Yeah. And I know it's been incredible for you because it's been incredible for me, and we're in the same place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And isn't it good to be here?
Yeah, and it feels so good because we have a chance to tell the youth and the people out there, whether you want to believe or you not want to believe, but God is real.
I think they have no choice but to believe it, bub. I think we reached that point where God is real. It's real that God is real. Yeah. You know, I think that's where we are. That's where we're at.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was only going to ask, in 2023, there was the conversation that R&B was dead, that passion, that love when brothers pick up they lady friends and they get in the car, there was always a ballad, the perfect ballad that could be played.
Right.
Me and my king was in the car the other night and we threw on Gregory Abbott. You know?
I do Gregory. Yeah.
Because it sends you to a place of peace, of love, of just wanting to be closer. And the conversation started coming up.
All the light-skinned cats.
He was definitely on the Philip Michael Thomas
All the
track.
colored cats.
He was on the Philip
They
Michael
don't know
Thomas.
nothing about us. They don't know about you got. You don't know about that.
Teddy and all of them.
Yeah.
'Cause you right there with them.
Yeah.
What do you think killed the R&B movement?
You want to honestly?
Yes, honestly, what do you think killed? Because
Black
who better
women.
to hear it from than
Black women.
really? Tell us. How did we kill it? Tell us, how did we kill it?
because you will you killed the necessity for it. You know, you killed the reason for it. You became strong and independent.
When drank the sensuality out of it.
You stepped beyond it. You started to want to wear the pants.
Got you.
And as a result, some of us is putting on dresses.
Ooh.
That hurts. That hurts.
That was powerful.
That hurts.
And I never even looked at it
And keep
that
it
way.
pimping. I mean, I can't do it all. I gotta do it first. You know.
And I'm gonna tell you why it hurts.
Because it's true.
Not because it's true, but the steps that led up to that was painful.
Yeah.
And
You see it now.
I think my age group, I saw it when it was happening.
Oh, okay. What? Has anyone ever else told you? Has anyone else
I've
ever said?
shared that with other women.
Oh.
That there's nothing wrong with being soft. There is power in our softness. There's power in being feminine. There's power in being a woman and not mimicking maleness. There is no man on the planet that desires that.
Right.
When the king steps out of the throne room and he goes into the royal chamber, the conversations that take place, because the queen is there to support, guide, nurture, and feed.
Okay, I believe that. Yes.
Not to shame, not to
Never.
humiliate,
Never.
not to cripple.
Not to criticize.
Now,
Question.
if she is left alone and unprotected,
What is alone and unprotected?
when there is no king,
Well, if there's no king, why would there not be a king?
oh gosh, there's so many reasons.
But what's the primary reason? Why would do you think a man would leave a woman that he's
Systemic removal. A lot
so
of,
he's not there by his own accord.
but not by choice.
He's there not by choice.
A lot of kings got removed not by choice.
Not by choice.
By forced removal.
Right. Forced removal. Right.
Now-
Exactly. Okay, now we moving forward. Yeah.
There is.
But were they
I
blamed?
think-
Were they blamed for not being there? Regardless of how they got
I
taken
think
out.
there was a resentment that
Exactly.
began to build.
Okay. All right. Let's keep it pimping. And that resentment
I can be
came.
honest about
Yeah,
it because
and
I
where-
talk about it all the time.
Where did the resentment stem from? From where did it come from?
Exhaustion.
But who from what it didn't get from other black men, from where the resentment for the black man not being there, where that resentment for him not being there, who harbored that resentment?
The women and the children.
Right. The women.
We fed it into the children.
Which fed into not the women and the children.
Because the
women to the
are
children.
the first teachers.
Right, so not the women and the children, the women to the children. So it's safe to say the children would never have gotten it
When
had
we
the women
send
not
our
given it to them.
girls, I'm gonna let you finish, but when we send our girls for higher education, right? When you say the necessity of it was taken, the necessity of rhythm and blues, love music,
Right.
baby making music, feel good music,
Right.
let's stay together music,
Right.
right?
Right.
When the necessity of that no longer was requested, look at what replaced it, right? What replaced it was, I don't even have to call you sweetheart.
Right.
You saw it in the music videos. When I watched your video today, right? One of the things I noticed, of course, was how you was dressed, which was immaculate,
thanks.
right? The style, right? But then I looked at the woman,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And I saw how beautiful she was, how
Yes.
feminine she
Yes.
was.
Feminine. Exactly.
Even with her being dismissed in the
Yeah.
most
colorful.
classful,
Colorful, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because it was the ultimate read. That's what they call it today,
Yeah.
a read, right? It was the
Read, yeah,
ultimate
ultimate
read,
read.
right? And she sat there in character, because she's
Yes.
in character,
Yes.
right? She's in character, and she's just, right?
Yeah.
She didn't use some of the vocabulary that we hear of the women her age now would have used.
No, she
right?
didn't. She wouldn't.
She
That's what she
remained-
didn't, because that doesn't mean she didn't know how.
Right, she knew how.
She knew how.
She knew how.
Right.
But she understood, the jig is up, right?
Right.
He ain't gonna let me take the coat. I can't take the coat? Okay, I can't take none of the coats. Okay, and she, just exited. I think what we're teaching the girls now is there's a competition between the woman and the men, that we somehow can compete sexually, we could somehow compete financially. Men still make more per capita than women, and that's because of the way society is set up, right?
No, you think
because they're supposed to be the leaders, they're
Right.
supposed to be the breadwinners and the protectors.
Okay.
And I don't think the women now require it, as you say. I went out with some of the younger women maybe a few years ago, and I was appalled. I didn't see anyone buying them drinks.
No.
And I had never seen that before. First of all, I was appalled that they were even paying to get in. I come from a different world where
Yes.
I've never paid to get in anywhere. I show up.
You show up.
I smell good.
You smell good.
I'm pretty.
And
Hi.
And that's it.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's all
That's
that
all
was
it takes.
required,
Yeah, that's all
right?
required.
You need me in here.
Right. And at that time they did, because they
And everyone that looks
Right.
like me, you want in here. Because
Right.
we're going to bring them in. Because the
Yeah.
gentlemen are coming to see the eye candy. It's not a sausage party.
Right. No, it's not.
Now, when you see the club scene, all the gentlemen are on one side with all their bottles to themselves. They're taking pictures of each other with the bottles, right?
Right.
The girls are on the other side. They got their own bottles. They taking pictures of each other.
Right. That's absolutely.
This what y'all came outside for? To
No,
dress
yeah.
for each other? Yeah. So when I hear that, that's why I wanted to ask your humblest insight and opinion of what happened to R&B. And I think you hit the nail on the head. The women stopped requiring
They stop
it.
requiring it. Yeah.
If you and your boo are going out for the night, or you're turning in for the night and you're in the car and you're throwing on drill music, right?
Or Booty Hole Brown.
Oh gosh. Or that, right? Or that.
Yeah, that's knocked my socks.
What
So we're
kind
gonna
of
talk
mode
about
is-
that.
What kind of mode is that setting? How do you
Savage mode.
Savagery.
Savage mode. Savagery. Yeah.
So savage. Sometimes I hear the music and how the men and the women are describing intimacy. I said, damn, that sounds painful.
Yeah.
Where's the sensuality?
In
He
the past.
talking about smacking her, she pulling out the blicky. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Y'all together?
Tell you, no more romantic evenings. So you
Yeah.
need 2 AA batteries.
Yeah.
That's it, Jack. 2 AA batteries. We good to go. That's all I need. But it's evolved. That's what it's and you hate to keep referring back to spirituality and religion.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible said in the last days men will become lovers of themselves. And even in the celebratory sense, if those men in the bottles, but they ain't got no girls, they popping bottles, taking pictures of themselves, they lovers of themselves.
Yeah.
These are all prophecy, all these things.
Yeah, I think, and we have to refer to it.
Yeah,
Because-
you have to.
You know
You don't want to
what
get
I'm
too.
saying?
I want
Exactly.
you want to keep it entertaining because I love what you said, but you can't. I don't. I
Yeah.
think today. I think it's too. I think it's real now. I think it's really actually. I believe last moments.
We are.
I don't mean like the next 5 minutes,
We
but
are.
if the.
But we are, though.
We are.
Yeah, we are. The world has been overtaken by evil and the devil in no way it's ever been on this earth. We are now living in a time where I told them the world about the devil with Dr. Umar, and I got 50,000 views in one day, but the people are dragging me like trash, like saying I'm stupid, I'm dumb.
No, that's not.
You know, I'm talking about these imaginary figures. None of this stuff is real. And I sit back and it hurts me so much inside because I know this is the state of the people.
Right.
You know, they actually believe.
Right. And they reenacted because as the system was illustrated, the men on one side, the women on the other side. You know, it's unfortunate that most of us can only see what's directly in front of us.
Yes.
Because we're right up on it. Because we want to be so involved with it. But when you sit back and get away from it, then you can see it in its entirety. Then you see where it's all connected. You know, and what you're saying is absolutely true. What you're saying in regard to the music and where we're going, is directly related to the fact that these last moments, that the prophecy that's illustrated is the same thing. It's the same. What you're saying is what we're seeing. What we're seeing is what you're saying, and what you're saying is what we're seeing. You know, and I don't think you. Like I said, I don't want to sound. You don't want to sound corny but you can't really get away from it because it's so critical.
No, it
You know?
is. Because if we don't say something, my children.
We're blood guilty, brother. You're blood guilty.
Exactly, yes. Warn the wicked of
You're
their
blood
evil
guilty.
ways.
You understand
that?
that?
Thou shalt surely die.
Yes.
You don't warn the wicked of their evil ways that thou shalt surely die. They're going to die in their own iniquity.
Yes.
But their blood will be held accountable.
Exactly.
On the hands of those that were supposed to warn them.
Right, because a man that know that he know, it will be held of a higher standard.
Absolutely.
You held to a higher standard.
Yes.
You know.
So
Yours is a different kind of hell.
yes. Yes.
Mine is a different kind of hell.
Yes.
Yours is a different, sister.
Absolutely.
Because you know. You know. We
Yeah.
know.
It's like, you know, y'all don't believe those bed bugs that you sleep with is real because you can't see them.
Because you can't, but
they there.
But they there.
Yeah.
They there.
But they there.
And the ignorance will not save you this glass. I walk into the room and this glass is poison in it, and I don't know it's there. My ignorance of the poison in this glass won't mean I won't drink it. I won't still be just as dead.
Right.
You know, the poison didn't kill me. The ignorance of the poison killed me. Because if I had been known it was there, I wouldn't have drank it. That's perhaps the trouble with a lot of our people. We don't know that it's there. That's why the ones who do know, if we don't let them know, we are held.
My people die of a lack of knowledge.
Yes. Yes.
People die of a lack of knowledge.
It's lack of knowledge.
Absolutely.
And real quick, not to, you know.
Pause
give
for the cause.
Quick promotion.
Absolutely.
So y'all don't
In
think-
celebration of Dry January, for all of you who are taking a break from
Yes, sir.
ingesting spirits, we have Sun and Shield non-alcoholic spirits.
Non-alcoholic.
These non-alcoholic. We
Alcohol
have
replacement.
whiskey, we have rum, and we also have gin
And tequila.
and tequila and wines. This will keep you on your dry January journey. You can still enjoy the taste of these spirits such as gin and rum and whiskey without the impact, without the dizziness, without the regret, without the shredding of your liver, and all of those other wonderful health ailments that come along with alcoholism.
That's right. And for all my cats out in the street, look here, Miss my man Sean B, this is his brand. You supposed to be looking for this in the daytime with a flashlight, you dig? Go get this, support this. This is us, this is you, this is everything. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Now we can get back to the
Now, let's back to our,
Yes.
whatever that
Thank
was.
you.
Okay. All right, that's
But,
cool.
yeah.
Bill take care of us later. You got us later.
And
Yeah.
that-
All right, that's
Absolutely.
it, brother.
Just speaking about that, I think that was another thing that was introduced in our community. You know, the alcohol, the marijuana. That is what scares me right now. What do you think about all these marijuana shops that done opened up?
It's gonna happen. They're gonna open them up, man.
On
Cats
every
are
single block.
It's like liquor. It's like
They're
liquor
everywhere now.
Everywhere, liquor stores and Chinese restaurants.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And I think they promoted the, as I constantly tell the people, the devil takes over your mind. You know, either your mind is going to be conformed to Christ Jesus, or it's going to be the devil. It's no in between to that. We are not of ourselves. We will become a slave to either one. And the Bible says that He wants us to remain sober because your enemy, the devil, proud and he's sober all the time and he's looking to devour you all the time. He doesn't take no break. It's not anything like that. So he would rather you stay sober because your enemy is trying to destroy you. Things that the people, I guess, just don't know. I guess they don't, actually open the Bible and read it. But one of the things that I want to promote, we want to promote as a family, is that
alcohol free,
alcohol free, and it's a scripture in the Bible where people don't understand that it speaks about that when Jesus did turn the water into wine. Right. People believe that that was wine, but they don't further read the scripture. When the man came up to Jesus and said, "This wine is not like the other wine. The other wine, people drink and then the worst come. Right. This wine, you drink and it ain't nothing.
After effects.
So they didn't even understand. They was dealing whatever he did was something that didn't have the alcohol to it.
But I think with any vices that's presented to us, I think it's the abuse of that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if money is not evil. The love of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Liquor in of itself is not evil, but the overconsumption of it, the consumption of it to a point where it makes you do something other than what you should be doing, or whether what you would be doing if you were not under the influence.
I
think at that point it becomes a hindrance. It becomes a demon, But and then again, I've gotten to a point. And it's not because I've become holier than thou. I've actually lived long enough now that I don't see it, but I know it's there. The conclusion of all that. You know what I'm saying? And you begin to when you get to that point. And it happens at different points in life. Sometimes it could be an instance that causes it. But when you get to that point, you start to realize life as it is, and not as you would have it be, or as you've been told it ought to be. And I don't want to indulge myself in anything. I want to be that in tune to the now that I don't want to indulge myself in anything that's going to take me out of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be high for a minute, because in that minute, I'm never going to get that minute back. I'm never. I want to be aware that if I'm going to lose that minute, let me lose it trying to find a step closer to God. Because that's where I want to be. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what I want. That's what we all want to be. It's just that we don't. A lot of us we fall short because we don't. Maybe we don't think it's cool, or it's we ought to, it's kind of corny or whatever. But then nobody appreciate basketball like the cat sitting in a wheelchair. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You can't. That's it.
Also, I think our body is a temple, and because the scripture says
absolutely.
So if our body is a temple that the Lord dwells.
No, that's fact.
Yeah. That means whatever I put in my mouth, whatever I put in my brain, whatever that I'm almost desecrating the
in my spirit. What I put in my spirit.
Yeah, what I put in my spirit, I'm almost desecrating the temple.
Yeah, that's why you can't harbor hate.
I need to be very careful of what I let inside of me.
Yes.
Because what I let inside of me,
that becomes you.
Yes.
And then when you give it to someone else, it becomes them.
Yes.
And then you become blood guilty.
Yes.
Because not only have you put yourself in a bad position, but you've also aided in the guidance of someone else toward that same bad conclusion. That's. But see, that type of insight, brother. That type of insight is you don't learn that. Where you at right now. Mm-hmm. Your spirit, where you at, you don't learn that. You have to come to that.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, and when
You can't be taught that. You can't be taught. That's
when
what
you
I
say
mean.
that, I give a quick story. You know, a quick, something powerful that you would find very interesting. So I had a very bad marijuana problem, and I used to smoke a lot of weed. Thank God, right now, he set me free of that. But I had a vision one day, and it bothered me a lot, and I couldn't understand it for a while, but it came to me what God was teaching me. So I was somewhere, and I looked, and I saw a throne, and I saw a lot of other thrones next to it, but it might have, so it could have been the 24 elders, but the one that was at the head of the first throne, you know, he identified himself to me as the Most High, pretty much, and I know this might be too much for y'all, but
No,
this is
get
for
it, brother. Give it
those
to
who
'em.
have ears, let them hear. So when I was called to him, I was like sitting low, down up under the throne, up on the side of him, low down. And my head dropped immediately in my lap, like just dropped in my lap. And I only could look at him from my peripheral vision. And as he was sitting there, he started blowing the strongest marijuana that I ever smelled or ever could think of. And he wasn't blowing it like on me, he was blowing it in me. Like when he blew it, it went in me and it was killing me. It was so strong that I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. Wow. I couldn't overcome it. And I kept trying to rise up, but I couldn't. The smoke was just so
When you eventually
strong
rose up.
and so powerful. And I was so hurt inside because I'm looking like, why you kind of identify yourself as God. How could you do this to me? Why are you doing this to me?
You
And
can't be tested without a testimony.
He just kept blowing the smoke, and it kept going inside of me. So I came out of it, and that bothered me for some time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like it always made me think, what was that?
Did you smoke anymore?
So yeah, I did, but it came to me because I still hadn't really understood what that was. Didn't tell much people. I just kept that inside of me. Right. But then one day, he came and said something in my ear when I was, studying the scripture, understanding that your body is a temple that the Lord dwells in.
Yes.
He said, "What do you think you're doing to me?"
Yes.
And that's when I understood what it was about. Right. I was trying to rise up, and I couldn't rise up because he kept blowing the smoke inside of my temple. But it's the other way around.
Right.
I'm steady smoking, and the God spirit in me can't rise because I'm steady smoking the weed,
you're polluting that temple.
Polluting his temple.
Yeah.
So when you say that, you can't read this, it's deeper than
that.
that was just something to let you know
absolutely.
how deep it goes.
Absolutely.
For me, he teach me a lesson, directly.
Absolutely. And sister, you know what? I was thinking about what you were saying there earlier on the musical side of things. Another factor that I think contributed to the demise of R&B music was the perspective, the black women. Not only did they no longer require it, but their attitude changed when they became when they started interacting with the feminist mindset. You know, we can do the same thing as a man, or we can, the whole feminist movement is not really designed for black women.
I always,
You know?
I always try to highlight that to women.
They don't get it though. Do
My
they?
lineage, that there was no need for the feminist movement for our community in particular, because when our men were catching hell, we were catching hell right alongside them. We were not, whether it was through colonization or whether it was through forced labor,
No, in addition
no matter
to,
what our
not
condition
whether,
was.
In addition, it was all those things.
All those things.
All those things.
We were right alongside our men.
Exactly.
We were not spared because we were women, as opposed to the women that spearheaded the feminist movement.
Okay.
They were placed in a safe space,
Okay.
above the ground, almost in an angelic way. You don't need to speak. You
Tell
don't
the
need
truth.
to vote. You don't need to do anything. You just sow, and we're going to keep these animals away from you.
Yeah.
Right?
Sister,
We're going
you
to keep
ain't-
these animals from you.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you are a delicate wallflower.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to learn everything from medicine to gynecology on these wenches over here, because they could take the pain, they could take the suffering,
They're strong.
and they're stronger.
strong
They're
black
damn near,
women.
they're
They're strong
damn near
women.
men, right?
They want to be men.
So when that feminist movement got slowly trickled into the college campuses and the vocational schools that were popping up at the time, they made it seem like that was something we needed. Honestly, sisters, we tired.
You should be.
I want to be off the grill. I am off
You
the ground.
should be tired.
But for all of the sisters that haven't had that opportunity to take your feet off the ground and sit
Black women
and
should
serve
be tired. Yeah, they should be tired.
and embrace your femininity,
Yes.
and not have to compete. Our women who spearheaded the feminist movement, they were angry at Tom and Frank.
Yeah,
I want to
Bill,
vote,
and
damn
Bill,
it.
and Bill,
yeah, I
and
want to
Peter.
vote, damn it. I got a voice too. I don't want to keep sewing.
I'm
You know,
tired of
I want to do something.
telling them what to do. Telling the
We've
servants
been
what to do.
sewing. We've been working. We've been sewing. We've been toiling. We've been birthing. We've been doing it all.
Yeah.
So that movement wasn't for us. It was unnecessary.
Well,
And I think
it
a
was
lot-
it was unnecessary. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
For
So much,
us,
but-
in particular.
Yeah, it was unnecessary for us. But that another side of it too. And I'm not challenging what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. But I'm asking you. Do you think it was also a deliberate plan in order to unroot or unsettle? I mean, to dismantle the foundation of the
Of the
black
family.
family.
Absolutely, the family is
This was
the
it was
foundation
a ploy.
of all things.
So you're saying it was a ploy?
I think it was a very calculated movement, along with what we used to call welfare. Now they call it human resources, but it used to just be called welfare back in the days.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of things was presented as a positive with some incentive, but the incentive, I don't think women understood. The women then, didn't understand the aftermath, what that would lead to a generation. I don't think they could have predicted, because again, even those ultra feminists, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't think they predicted it.
Okay.
Because the women that the Gloria Steinbergs, those attorney women, those women that were in the colleges that spearheaded those movements, their daughters still have a high percentage of marriage, family, stability, right?
Right.
Whereas our sisters, those percentages slowly started dwindling. They know how to turn it or force it off, right? I'll give you a prime example. Sex and the City was a huge, huge show, once upon a time.
All right.
HBO, middle-aged professional women, middle-aged, because I want to put that out there. I think when people, when women and men think about Sex and the City, they always think about the fashion. They always think about all the fun these girls were having. These weren't girls, these was middle-aged, single white women, right?
Okay.
In Manhattan, wearing poshness of every label you could think of. They were unmarried and they were childless and middle-aged.
Right.
Which is the triple threat for every other woman on the globe. No, seriously. It's a triple threat. If you are a woman in Japan, if you're a woman in China, if you're a woman in India, Australia, if you are middle-aged and childless and single, you better start getting scared. Okay?
Yeah,
I just watched a documentary in Japan that there's an actual term for it in Japan. Like something about like the vegetables at the bottom of the basket that nobody wants, right?
Oh, that.
But
Wow.
this was a #1 show. Why was
Right.
it #1? Because it was a fantasy. Those middle-aged professional women, I don't need it. Those middle-aged professional women,
Right.
Donna, Karen, Becky, Paula, whatever you wanted to name them, still had a higher percentage of getting married and settled down than sisters who are imitating that lifestyle, than Latinas imitating that lifestyle.
2/3 their age.
Right. And they 40.
And yeah.
They 40. They skipping around in Louboutins but they are single.
Well, yeah. Perception is the reality.
And that's when you say that to me, that did we predict it? No. I think we thought, oh, we're going to be just like that. But then you go to the churches, who's filling the pews without the husbands by their side? It's us, right?
Exactly.
And they're still teaching their daughters, when you go away to college, you're meeting your husband.
Right.
Right? We send our girls to college, not all of us. So I don't want the kingdom to get offended. Well, I can't control the offense that is felt, but I want you to hear what I'm saying with an open mind and thought. When we send our girls to college, we say, get that degree, get that career.
Right.
Girls, stand on your feet.
Right.
Because you can't depend on nobody.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Donna Karen is saying, you're going to meet your husband.
Yeah.
College, get the degree.
Yeah.
But you're going to meet your husband there.
Right.
And why? Because he's young. He's on the rise. He's getting his higher education. This is his first time without parental supervision. Yes, we're starting off here together.
Yes. To be evenly yoked.
Evenly yoked.
Yes.
And that's the message that we need to correct with our daughters now. Because we got a whole generation right now that's sexy reading their way into loneliness.
Lonely. You see young girls.
Sexy reading.
Young girls, 4 years old, 5 years old, bouncing up and down, talking booty hole brown.
Yeah.
Boys.
Right.
How can you remain optimistic about the future?
How can you?
If I got sons. I got 4 sons and 3 daughters.
And I have 3 sons that need, and I need daughter-in-laws.
But where you gonna find them? Where you gonna find them?
I know.
Because it's gotten to that point. I'm not allowing you can't allow them to go out in the street and find them.
Yeah.
You can't.
It's crazy though. It's crazy when you think about that.
Yeah, it is.
Every girl, I want to know mother, father, I want to know history.
Yeah.
And if you have enough influence, if you have the right influence and enough, and you really have influence, you're not even letting your children interact with. I mean, I don't want you with that, but I can't stop you from being that. But let me show you something else, an alternative. But where do you find that alternative? Now I'm asking you.
I don't know what else.
I'm asking you.
I guess in like-minded thinking families, because we have the sons, and I know there's families that have the daughters that's like, how how can my daughter get a husband in this day and age? You know, can she actually be matched, you know, with a young man that's going to treat her like a lady?
Sister, I'm so glad you brought that. Let me tell you something. I've talked to people. No one ever asked that question. What about your children?
Yeah, very important.
When I got sons, what kind of women are you gonna wind up? Are you gonna be involved in that process?
Yeah.
Because if you're not, booty hole brown. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can come home with that. You can bring it home. You know what I'm saying? You can bring it home. I don't want that. I don't want booty hole brown. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? And it's amazing. You know, we're laughing, but that's the reality.
It is the reality.
Your son could walk through the door with, "Hey, mama."
Yeah.
You know?
And it's scary.
And it's
like,
scary.
okay, what does that mean for the next generation?
What does that mean for your
know?
grandchildren?
Right, because I think about that a lot.
That's the next generation. Your grandchildren.
Your grandchildren. And
that, you know, let me ask you something, sister. Maybe that's where the disconnect occurs, because I'm thinking about the next generation. No, I'm thinking about my grandchildren.
yeah,
That is the next generation.
that is the next generation.
And if I put the same emphasis on my grandchildren that you put on yours, and yours is really, your standard is really high because you have sons. Well, I want to make sure my daughters are prepared to meet your sons. And I know how you raising your sons. You ain't booty hole brown ain't gonna cut it, baby.
She
You know?
sure not.
You're not gonna cut it.
There is no room at
And
the
when
table.
you look at her saying booty hole brown, how you gonna look at me? Oh well,
Right.
hey baby. You know what I'm saying?
It's so true. It's very, very true. And I think we have to start thinking about the next generation. We have to.
But how, realistically, how does that? Can we do? I mean, where are we at with that? Where not just I'm not. Where as a people, when the grandmama is 33, 34,
Right, 34, 33, right.
the daughter is 20. Grandma's 35. Daughter's 20. Baby's 4.
And they all listen
Twerking.
to the same.
And they all listen
and
to
they
the
all
same.
listen to the same
Same.
music.
They all fighting for the same.
Attention.
Well, no, not attention. The what you call a hairpiece?
Oh, the wig.
You know, that's what, because we're not black. Black women aren't really satisfied with themselves. They have to enhance. You know.
But I don't think any woman is satisfied with herself. I had this conversation.
Who buy fake hair?
Both of us now. Everybody
buy fake hair. In Japan, and you know, in China they don't sell that hair though. Did you know
No,
that?
it's
It's illegal to buy that hair. The Chinese don't buy it.
Well, in Japan, hair weaving is the hugest
Yeah, but not for the
phenomenon.
Japanese.
No, for them, yes.
Really, for the Japanese? I know for China they don't though.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely. You got to remember, hair
Well, then we've
is
been misinformed over here.
for women, because I'm going to tell you why.
And you should know. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to take your word for it because you're a
No
woman.
other man on the planet gives a damn of how the woman's package is put together but the black man.
Wait a minute.
Russian man.
Wait a minute.
And I'm gonna tell you.
Wait a minute.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you examples.
All right, we're gonna come back to this.
I'm gonna give you examples. The Russian man pays for them boobs. He pays for that dye job. He pays for them extensions. And when she get in that car with them fake boobs and them fake lips and that Botox face and them extensions and that bleach blonde hair, he said, "Baby, you look great."
Right. You know why the black man don't do
Pause. The Mexican man.
that? Okay.
He gonna pay for that lipo.
Right.
He gonna pay for that glyconic skin peel to take that top layer of flesh off. Okay.
Got it down
So
to-
she get that baby skin.
She got it down
he
to a
gonna pay
science.
for that butt.
Yeah.
He gonna pay for them diamonds and he paying for them extensions. And when she get in that car, he gonna say, "Baby, you look great."
Yeah. You know,
Right? When the Japanese woman come down them stairs, now she done super skinnied herself, because you know they don't care about that big butt and all that stuff. That ain't feminine to them, right? What's feminine to them is that extra fair skin. So she done bleached herself, okay? She done went and got her bleach treatment, okay? She done got the eye treatment to widen her lids, right? She might have got her breasts reduced to make them a little smaller. He covered all of that.
All that.
When she get in that car, he says, "You're looking good, mama."
Yeah.
right? When Becky get in that vehicle, American Becky now.
Yeah.
We ain't talking about the Russians. We talking about American Becky.
Yeah.
American Becky done injected her lips. She done been at the tanning salon all day. She got new boobies, right? She got a new tummy. She got a new butt. Made it a little curvier. Not outrageously, huge like Kim, but just a little curvier, She got her Britney Spears extensions or the Kim Kardashian extensions or the Khloe Kardashian extensions, right? She coming downstairs, cursing like a sailor, snort a line of coke. When she get in that car, what Tom say? You look great, babe. Shanique would get in that car with her lashes, her nails, a push-up bra, might be new titties in her lace front. What Tyrone say? You don't love yourself. Huh? Why I don't love myself?
Why
Becky
you do it?
love herself with her generic parts.
Right.
Chun-Li love herself with her new parts.
Right.
Lolita love herself with her new parts. Why I can't be manufactured?
Because God created you
Absolutely.
in the absolute image. In His class. We not black men ain't gonna give you that money. Because we love you just the way you
Yeah,
are.
absolutely.
But tell us
It
that
doesn't
every
even
day.
matter.
Tell us that every day.
Mic drop.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it
Esteemed.
doesn't
You
even
know what I'm saying?
matter.
No,
That's why you ain't get it.
I get that. But in our natural state, I'll give you a prime example. When we started wearing the relaxers, if brothers would have said to us then, we don't want your hair straight, we would have stopped straightening it.
At the time,
That's when you lost. In the moment you require somebody else to secure your own validation.
But we are, as women, we're divinely engineered.
Do men ask you how to dress?
that
Do
way.
we ask y'all how to dress?
Why do you think the stiletto was invented? A woman ain't invent no stiletto.
No, man. Do we ask you how we should dress?
No, but I think you guys do take pointers of what you think we find attractive.
You really think men?
Absolutely.
dress-
I don't think men dress for other men. I don't think so.
No, they don't dress for
I
other men.
think so.
They dress for themselves.
But I think they dress for women
That's
in
what-
mind.
Yeah, but women and themselves. But women dress for women. They dress for other women. They dress for themselves. They dress for the men. They dress for so
We
many
have to
different-
dress for the world.
for the world.
Women have to dress
Women
for the
dress-
world. That's just the way
But
society is
not,
made.
black women don't have to dress for the world.
No, but we gotta dress for the brother. And the brother is the most in demand and disempowered and divinely engineered man on this earth.
So
So it's
all
a
those
different
attributes-
pressure.
With all those
Pleasing
attributes,
the
why
brother.
would you have? Why with all that going for the black man, and that's how the black women see us. Why? I understand why what we say is important, but you coming to us in your own. What I'm getting to is that I think black women use it as that. You don't need me. You can't use me as the reason for you doing to yourself what you do to yourself, because you think I won't accept you other than that.
But
You don't think
who
I would
wants to
accept
be
you? Do you think I would
ostracized?
accept you without that hair, without all that enhancement? Do you think I would accept you just for the beautiful black woman, not for the woman?
Maybe
Forget everything else, for the
spiritually.
woman that you are.
Maybe spiritually, but not outwardly.
So you coming into this with at a disadvantage. I know we started at a disadvantage.
Fathers started with their daughters. Because the father is the first love in a woman's life. So if the message you've received from, if you don't see women that your father is showing love and attention and affection to in this 100% natural state, he is conveying the message to you. As long as you're the baby girl, you can wear those super curls. But once you become an older woman, I like to see it flatten out. That's why most girls, little girls, they get their first press and curl at a certain stage in life.
But you know that women would like to believe that your father is the first love of your life. But then why not act like that when you actually come into life? I mean, you're not.
When the black woman interacts with a black man, she's definitely not acting like her father.
Has she had a father? And what kind of father has she had? We could say the same for the brothers. The mother is the first love of his life. But what kind of mother has he had? Did he have a mother? So there's two wounds being inflicted simultaneously at the same time. And the only way to move towards the healing is to acknowledge that those wounds are being simultaneously inflicted. Let's pause on having all the babies during the healing process and really start to love one another. I don't see so much love in this generation. There's a love of money, there's a love of attention, but not so much love of each other.
We gotta understand the concept of love. Love don't make the world go round. It just makes the ride worthwhile.
Yes, and that's important to make the ride. The ride worthwhile is so important. Who wants to be on the ride without the seatbelt?
But the ride doesn't really matter if you don't have all the variables. Remember, it's not the journey or the destination.
Right,
it's the company you keep along the way.
It's the company you keep along the way.
know?
Everyone is.
Because do you think he would have been? Do you think Sean would be as far as he is now had he been without you?
We was on that crazy journey together. As wild as he was, I matched it.
And as great as he is,
I matched
you matched it.
I did. Hey. And that's why it was absolutely divinely linked. Because there was nothing that could come between us. You know, and I want that for all men and women. We want to start a matchmaking thing. Because we see a lot of brothers that need wives, not baby mothers.
Well,
wives, and we see a lot of sisters that need husbands
I
too.
hope you be successful with that because this is a big thing to be engaged. This is a big thing to gauge against. You're gonna have cat got to step up to the plate. You know, I mean, it's kind of unfair.
It's not.
It's unfair.
It's
now,
not.
we're talking about Sean Bigga now. I mean, come on now. It's not fair. We gotta be fair now.
We are.
You gotta be fair now. You know, you want to try to catch up with this cat. Give me a couple of years head run. Head start. And then,
but we want to see that. We want to see the families.
Some good.
Some good men and women. And we're gonna have a criteria. There's some people that we can't link. But there's a lot of people that can be linked. They just don't know how to get linked up. They don't know where to go. And it's not at the club.
No, it's not.
Right? It's not at the club. Now, yes, I know there's a few people that'll challenge and say, well, I met my husband or I met my wife at the club. And that's because that was supposed to be.
Right.
That was supposed. Some things just happened, and it was supposed to be that way.
It's supposed to be that way.
You know, I have a cousin that she met her husband on a double date, right? The primary couple couldn't stand each other by the end of the evening. After they left, they didn't even want to talk. They like, all right, I'm out. You know.
That was it.
She like, well, I'm staying.
That was God doing this thing.
And 33 years later, they still together.
Still together. That's God doing this
You know,
thing.
so sometimes God just doing his work. And
absolutely.
he just had a vehicle that linked you in, right? Which might have been that primary couple that said, man, I got a girl I'm taking out tonight. You know, why don't you just come and be my wingman? And she said, girl, I'm going out with this guy. You just come and be my wing woman. But not knowing God was orchestrating those two people to come together that night, you know? So we firmly believe that we can connect some real eligible bachelors and bachelorettes and just set aside some of the luggage that they've accumulated in the dating game. Because if you've been dating 10 years or more, you got some baggage you coming with. You got some distrust issues you coming with. You got some, you know, sisters ain't S-H-I-T and the brothers
sugar honey
ain't
iced tea.
Sugar honey iced tea. So, you know, we want to definitely, you know, support, you know.
want to be that bridge that gap.
We want to, you know, and if we get
if you find
1 out of
like-minded
the 10,
individuals, then you've accomplished something.
yes.
That's good.
If we get 1 out of the 10 to walk down that aisle.
What would be a common denominator for both people, you would think? I'm just off the top of your head, because I'm just curious how, you know, anybody watching, what would be a common thing that people would have to possess? Because I know there are 5
Their
things.
own residence.
Okay, well,
on both ends.
Okay.
Because we're not dealing with people that are 18, 19. We dealing with the 30 plus.
30 plus. Okay, why not 18, 19? You just...
Because I think they still have enough opportunity and time to still figure it out.
Perhaps they're still trying to find themselves.
Yeah, then you're still learning you.
Yeah, they not growing yet.
Yeah, you're still learning you. 18, 19, especially, this generation. I think the 70s babies and the 60s babies were thrusted into adulthood and adult situations a lot earlier. So our maturity level was a little different.
Right.
Some of us were already living on our own, 15, 16 years old. So I think the 18, 19-year-olds, some of them are just leaving the house for the first time and going on college campuses, They were the generation that didn't play outside without parental supervision.
Right.
That's the play date generation. That's the generation
that's empowering.
Yes, the 18 and 19-year-olds, they are the generation that had orchestrated play dates. Okay, call, Giovanni and Jaden. We're going to meet up at the skating rink and we're going to play. As opposed to our generation, we would just say, everybody need a skate key. Pew! We all have skate key together. No parental supervision. We just have skate key, So they still have a lot of self-discovery to do.
Right.
And I would like them to do that. The 30 and up,
30 plus.
30 plus, self-discovery should be almost at the midpoint because the self-discovery is lifelong.
Right, exactly.
But you're at your midpoint now. You got a pretty good idea of what you like and what you're not really willing to entertain. And that's on both ends. As far as careers go, you're either working your job or you're building towards that career that you're going towards. Maybe finishing master's level. Who knows? But 9 times out of 10, you left your parents' house already. And you may have that studio, maybe rooming, but you got that independent space. And why that is so important is we want them to meet on balanced turf.
Yeah, I get that. But I see the finance and positioning, that's all part of it from
Yeah. You don't have to be rich, but you do have to at least have your own residence.
So there's standards.
Because we don't want manipulation. There is a thing now that is called homeless sexuals.
Wait, what?
Homeless sexuals.
Homeless sexuals. Homeless
Yes.
sexuals.
Homeless men?
Homeless sexuals is a male or woman that doesn't have a stable residence and will use their attractiveness and sexual talents to gain temporary housing for a significant amount of time.
I used to call them gigolos.
Right. It was a gigolo, right? And this is a male and woman. And sometimes they'll solidify their position by breeding. Oh, I can't go now because I'm pregnant. Oh, shoot, I can't leave you now. You pregnant. And now you done found yourself engulfed in a homeless sexual union for 5 to 10 years into the baby.
I hope you just taking shots. I hope this. Golly, that's frightening.
No, but this is what's going on.
That is true, though.
This is what's going on. You'll usually meet them at the gym, particularly Planet Fitness. Right? Because they
make me cool. And the lawsuit's pending.
And why? I have a theory because the membership is $5.
Now after they hit you
And
with
they're open
this
24
defamation of character, like
I remember Planet Fitness. And let me tell you, they got a great class.
no, I'm just joking, sister. Let's get away from that.
Oh, okay. But before we wrap up, I'm just telling all the men and women. That's
don't wrap up yet. We still talking, man. You ain't just joking. You don't wrap. We just talking. We going.
Phenomenon. And what they do is they linger in the gym.
Maybe we better wrap up.
And they pose.
I'm trying to save my brother some money, baby. Please. Don't say no names.
Pose as personal trainers.
Don't say no names.
I'm not gonna say no names. They pose as personal trainers.
Don't give no descriptions either.
I'm warning them.
That's character assassination.
I gotta warn the men
Is there a law
and
against
women
character
out there.
assassination?
And they'll say, "Hey, I can help you with your workout." And you're like, "Oh, okay," and they'll slide it in. Like, where do you stay? Oh, I live over here in Co-op City. Or, I live in Jersey. And they say, "Wow, You know, and next thing you know, they're training you. And then they're coming over. And next thing you know, they're living there. And you're like, how did this happen? It's a whole phenomenon.
That sounds like something on Criminal Minds. I'm waiting for the hatchet to come out. What is like, you know?
And if you're in New York, you're really in trouble because, you know, after 30 days, they have squatters' rights.
Yeah,
so,
they
you know,
do. Ooh.
You like, you know, get out. And they're like, make me.
It's an industry.
You just told
I already got my mail coming here. You know what I mean? Why you so
30 days and you got squatters' rights.
Yeah,
That is
in
valuable
New York.
information for someone.
In New York.
Somewhere.
So brothers and
And we know who
sisters,
you are.
beware.
You're trying to be cool.
So it's for real. So that's why I want stop laughing, B. That's why I want for us to start with minimal. You got to have your own place, and I don't care if it's a studio, 1 bedroom. If it's just you, it's cool.
Now, what is Becky's mother saying? Is Becky telling her he got to have his own place, or Becky saying he's got to have these qualities?
Well, she is at 30. She's praying Becky's married,
Yes, but
and if she's not, she's a little scared.
So, what do you think? You think all women are looking for those things? Are there? Or can a man just possess something? What if a man says, you know what, I don't have any home, I don't have any money. Mm-hmm. I have, you know, I tell you what I do have though. Mm-hmm. I have love, loyalty, respect, honor, obedience, and the capacity for self-control. Would you allow me would you share my life and allow me to share yours and see where this journey will take us? I don't know where it's going, but wherever it takes us, I will never leave you.
Below 22.
Huh?
Below the age of 22. After
You just shot me down. I just hit you with the heartfelt, baby. They felt that in Canada. Come on. I just hit you with it. I felt that. And I'm a man. And another funny bone in my body. I felt that.
Let me
You
tell
didn't fit. Wait, whoa,
and
whoa,
I'll
come
tell
on.
you why.
Did I just take a shot and get shot down?
I've been
You
there.
didn't. I felt that.
I've been there.
You've been
because
there?
when I was with this man on his ascension, I remember when he left school, high school. I went to all girls Catholic school. I got put out, you know.
Well, I'm talking about the mother cat. I ain't talking about you. I'm talking
No,
about
but
the
I'm
mother cat.
saying at a certain stage, and this goes for the brothers too.
Right.
A sister could come with you with that same speech, right? But she got already the luggage of the speech that she gave the last brother, right? You're talking about fertility responsibility.
What do you mean? She had a child?
Too many.
Listen, let me tell you something. I'm a firm believer. I'm excited because I know where you're going with that, but I believe that anyone can have the child.
Yes.
But the parent is the one who raises the child.
The parent
And I'm a
is-
firm believer. If I met a woman with 10 kids, it's the truth from here to heaven. If she had 10 kids and I loved her, I would love them.
Of course you would.
And I would accept them as my own.
Of course you would.
Period.
Would you at 25?
Yes.
At 25?
At 20, yes.
Well, you were already.
Yes,
You was
at
already
25,
locked
yes,
down at
because
25.
I understand the necessity and the value of family, but no, wait a minute. Let me be practical. At 25, perhaps not. No,
This
let
is-
me keep it pivoted.
This is what I'm
I was
saying.
speaking too bad. At 25, I'm wrong. No, I wouldn't have at 25.
And that's why I said for
I
a
wouldn't
woman, that
Yeah,
proposal
straighten that out.
is great until 25. 25 is a pivotal time in both men and women.
That's a cultural thing because other cultures at 25 have houses and marriage, families, all that.
But other cultures also, when your daughter is not married or engaged and she's edging that 30, they start having that talk. I told you, Japan is called the bottom of the fruit. In China,
Yeah.
they got another name for it. In India, they got another name for it. And you know why? Because we are on a clock. Brothers aren't. So there's a disadvantage that women are divinely
We're not on the clock
engineered
because
with.
we don't know any better.
Well, Not because we don't know each other, just biologically.
No, I mean men. Men don't know any better.
Okay,
Women
but
don't know.
I think women also, a lot of our value is in being able to create those families that we want to give the men we love. We want to give him them babies. We want to give him the best years of our lives. And we know as we edge closer to the 40 mark, our fertility
That's
diminishes.
not the image though that's presented. The
Yeah,
image
because
that's
they
presented-
lying and they selling a dream.
No, black women go out the club. Women go they
They
hang out
selling.
when they
We
get to a
just
certain.
went to the club the other night.
Yeah,
Well,
but-
last night,
yeah.
me and hubby, and we had such a great time. Shout out to Jay Fresh and Unique Mecca Audio and all those wonderful sisters and brothers that was in there last night. One of the things we noticed immediately was there were so many builder bodies in the building, right? Belonging to nanas. Nanas.
Yeah.
Nana don't need a builder body.
Yes, I'm trying to get a man.
Yeah, trying to relive her youth.
And let me ask you a question.
Now, if Nana got to build a body to please her husband, because this is what he want too, cool. But Nana gotta understand that there's a time and there's an expiration of the opportunity, right? I'm looking forward to when I'm blessed with the next generation, the grandbabies. I'm looking forward to it.
Right.
I ain't gonna be there pretending with the build a body at the club.
But you didn't. You
My
started
buddy's
out the way it
22.
began is how it ended. You were
My
fortunate
buddy's
enough.
22 and my face is 63.
You-
That's not gonna work.
You were fortunate enough to run into a situation that's gonna make you greater. When you were 15, you ran into this bubble. That was God doing this thing. But you've never been. But I don't know. But I can only assume because judging from this kind of cat, he never put no. He doesn't. I don't think he doesn't seem like the type that would need you to enhance yourself in order to validate him. You understand what I'm saying? Because you ain't got boom 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 bam. I don't think he's not gonna feel any less of that. If you don't have that, he's not gonna regard you any differently.
Right.
If you with him, you with him as you are. I believe that's what it. That I don't believe that he put that on you. Listen, I want to be with you, but you gotta have this, and we get with you. Was that the case?
He did. I think we expected each other to sustain.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
it just stands for your
It's
personality, your
different, yeah.
perseverance.
No, to
Not-
sustain the beauty.
Yeah, but that's still different.
That's
That's
but
different. That means you sustain beauty by taking care of yourself.
Yes,
beauty
taking care
within.
of and each other.
But he's saying that I didn't request that you get, these
Yeah.
big boobs, and I didn't request that.
Yeah. Boom boom bam, bow, boom boom bam, bow, bow.
Boom, boom, bam.
What's the fake butt now?
The
BBL.
The BBL.
That was not part of the conversation. That was
What do
never
you
part
think
of.
about the BBL, Mr. Jones?
I
Have you
think-
seen one in person?
Yeah,
like
I've seen
walking
him.
by?
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him walk on. I've seen him fall up and down like two pigs in a blanket. You know what I'm saying? Two pigs in a blanket. I think
What do you
that
think of it?
it's. You know what? I think that white women started getting them because the white women were attracted to black women who had them. And then the black women wanted a certain kind of it seemed like all black men who were prominent started getting with white women. So black women, in order to compete with the white women, and they went and got it for themselves. I don't think anything that God didn't give you is necessary. I just don't. And not my perspective. It could be different, but at the end of it all, I don't think God gave you anything or didn't. I don't think you can. I don't think you should enhance yourself. I don't think you should fix yourself. When I think that anybody that requires you to do so in order to receive their love or their affection, they're the wrong person for you.
And somebody that's just looking at the outside instead of looking at the inside.
The inner, because the inner is what's most important.
That's what I would actually
That's what survives.
change,
Yeah.
the
You're gonna stay with him if God forbid, for me, with my wife, God forbid, I come to a point where I can't move or can't do for myself. She's staying with me not because she got a big butt or a big, because she don't have none of that. She's staying with me because of what's in here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And despite the BBLs or the BDDs or the, if what's needed there is not there, none of that is gonna matter.
No, that does not stay the course.
That don't stay the course.
That don't stay the course. This has been
Then
awesome.
why indulge yourself in it in the first place? Why?
That is so true. That is so true. This has been so awesome. I am so humbled and excited. And
I'm gonna tell you something. When black women are gonna come into their own, when
when
they realize they're the most important thing, they're the most incredible and most amazing thing on this planet. Black women have a gene in them called the Eve gene
that's right.
that allows them to have children of any hue. And that's
Any
what it
hue.
is. We're all men, but we're of different
Infinite
shades. So we're
possibilities.
any hue, different hue men. A man of different hues. That's what we. So we're all connected. But the black woman can have a child of any hue. Any hue. She's the only one that can do that. Isn't that enough? Don't that tell you something?
Tells us everything we need
You're
to
the
know.
only one in creation that can provide, that can create in that way.
Only by the divine.
Exactly.
That
If nothing
gift
else,
from the
that there is a
divine.
God. That lets you know there is a God, and that lets you know that He
Absolutely.
smiles upon you, the black woman. I trust that that you find yourself by yourself and remember me in the process, because I'm there with you. You know, I've been stricken from the picture, you know, but I'm there. I'm still there. You know?
And with that, I'm going to say that is a wrap. I think that was beautiful.
Peace and love.
Peace and love, people.
And thank you, Sean Bigga. This is my horse if he never win a race. Believe that.
And everybody for the young generation, because I was looking at our thing today. We go from 25, they're saying, to 55 years old is the people that's tuning in. So for the 25-year-olds, the 30-year-olds, because I just played my son the video today, he was bugged out. You know, please, I need y'all to go and Google.
Oh yeah, let me tell you something. In April, March 18th.
March 18th.
March 18th, Walking in the Rain, the play. It'll be in Queens. I will send you the information.
Yes.
It's just been booked. It's the play. We've already ran in Philadelphia and Washington. The rave reviews, you know.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's a play and reenactment of the record. Walking in the Rain, the play. I'm in the play. I'm gonna send you all the information.
Awesome.
And I would love to see you there. It'll be in Queens, in New York, March 18th. March 18th or April 18th. I'm not sure. We just booked the date. I mean, like yesterday. You know?
Nice.
And I would definitely be there.
That's why I didn't tell you about it early, because we just got it yesterday. But it's absolute. It's done. It's a done deal. And I'll give you all the information, and you will only find it here. I'm not giving it nowhere else. This my brother's gonna have it.
And me and the Queen will absolutely be there. Please, yes. Google it up, YouTube it up, Walking in the Rain.
Yeah, the play.
greatest-
Walking in the Rain, the play.
And what's your
video.
Instagram?
Oran Juice Jones official.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Orange
and
Juice
will the
Jones
link
official.
for and do you have you a link on Instagram about the play?
Yeah, I will. I
Information
just
about
got the
the play?
information yesterday. I will have everything will be there. And also online is Orange Juice Jones 57 at gmail.com. That's my you know how cats call, you know, get to me like that.
If somebody wanted to support you in the Cash App, you want to give your Cash
Yeah,
App?
Orange Juice. It's Orange Juice Jones. The $, Orange Jones. Orange Jones. That's the
Support in
$, Orange
Cash App.
Jones. You know
Support
what I'm saying?
the legends.
We
I
trying to
watch
do-
y'all give all of these people money that just bring havoc to our community, have a terrible message to our community, but y'all fill their Cash Apps up with money. Support the legends.
But what we gonna do with the money is try and pass it forward. You dig what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And try to
give
help
it
a situation.
When you Cash App
You
those
know?
that are positive,
Yeah,
we
we're
are
just
here to
gonna try to
grow the
help somebody.
community with something
You know,
positive.
Because like I was telling the cat earlier, it don't really matter what boat we came over on. We all in the same boat now. You dig what I'm saying? We all we have. It's between us and God. That's it. You know, and you have to acknowledge that. You know.
And stay tuned soon. My brother will be opening up his own channel soon.
Yes,
You
with the help of my brother here.
Exactly. I'll be a
Yes,
guest
sir.
on there. This is not the end, and you know, this is just going forward all the way.
Way
to
more than
heaven.
guest. This is my brother. I'm looking for him in the
Exactly.
daytime with a flashlight. I keep telling him that.
Here we'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Love you.
And my
Thank-
queen, thank you so very much. You know, we got to acknowledge her, the queen, because
Yes.
she's the meaning and purpose for all this. You think without her,
No,
it'd be no us.
Thank you.
You know, everybody who got game got it from a woman, and that woman was a queen.
All
Absolutely,
right.
that's so true.
And that's a wrap.
And that's the wrap.